December. Back to you.
Pam, we appreciate it. It's been an amazing year for Sean McVay and the Rams. They've taken this organization, out of the cellar and brought them to a contender. And they're in first place now, but this is a different test, Charles.
December football, that's what they've really wanted to play. As Pam said, meaningful December football. They've got it today.
Rams won the toss. They don't win here often, as you see. They will defer, so Seattle will get the ball first. And here we go. NFL on Fox. Lockett to take it out. Looking for some room, and there is no room at all. Squashed at the 15-yard line. Blake Countess is there first. And so we will see Russell Wilson on the field with this Seahawks offense. And look at this. Seattle coming off a loss to Jacksonville. He has been magnificent after losses. As a matter of fact, the best of all time.
And what they're seeking right now, can they run the football in a semblance of what Seattle has done in the past? We talked about that offensive line at the top. Mike Davis is the lead runner now. Can he give them enough carries and enough yardage to allow Russell Wilson to operate comfortably during this game?
Oh, they'll fake it and throw it on first down. Wilson has time. He's going to tuck and run and going to pick up a short gain. And that's the thing, Charles. I mean, Seattle's on what, their fourth running back right now? Carson was the guy they really liked. He got hurt, but they're just looking for something.
Any type of movement, and it's going to be hard against that defensive front seven of the Los Angeles Rams. Right now, Robert Quinn at linebacker is playing some of his best football. And in the backside of that secondary, they want to make sure they plaster the receivers when Russell Wilson starts to scramble.
And Wade Phillips' defense gets turnovers, 6th most in the league in that department, as they will run it to Davis. And a good run for Davis as Ogletree on the tackle. Well, Seahawks running backs, when you're looking at the situation, it's not ideal, right? I mean, 65 rush yards a game for the Seahawks, it's almost hard to believe. It's worse in the league. They only average 3.4 yards per rush, which is 30th in the NFL. One rushing TD that's other than Russell Wilson. He's got 3. Just doesn't fit, right? Seattle's been a running team for years, but they still rely on it. Here, a 3rd down and 5. Four-man rush. A fire and a completion over the middle. It's McAvoy and a fumble on the play. It's loose and it's picked up by the Rams. The 7th turnover on the opening possession the Rams have forced this year.
Absolute textbook tackle by LaMarcus Joyner, the free safety number 20. Shoulder on the football, pops it free, and Alec Ogletree, their middle linebacker, comes up with the first takeaway of the game. You mentioned it at the top, Kevin. Seattle took it away from Los Angeles 5 times to beat them in L.A. Here in the first series of the game, L.A. flips the script on them and gets the first takeaway of the game.
Think about that. 7 turnovers the Rams have forced on opening drives. It's the best in the league. And so now it's Jared Goff's turn after Ogletree recovered the fumble. And great field position for the Rams. They start on the 40.
Expect them to attack right away.
Here's Gurley for a big running lane for Gurley inside the 30 and down to the 26. It's a pickup of 14 for Todd Gurley. And the one thing about the Rams recently, they haven't been able to run on Seattle.
But they're running to the proper side of the line, the left side. Andrew Whitworth, 77. Roger Saffold, 76. That's where they like to run the football. And Todd Gurley found a big crease on his first carry.
First down, play pass, Goff, pressure on the run, incomplete. Michael Bennett in hot pursuit. And so Jared Goff has had quite the turnaround from year 1 to year 2 in the league. And how about the numbers on the road, Charles? That's impressive.
Particularly for a young quarterback who didn't have much success as a rookie. And to be able to go on the road in the NFL and do what he's done so far. And he sets quite a pace in the first 3 quarters with his head coach, Sean McVay.
Well, there's Wagner. Pam said Bobby Wagner is playing today. He's played with a hamstring for about a month. He came out of last week's game, but we'll watch him and see if that speed is effective.
And believe me, the Rams are going to test him early. They want him going sideline to sideline to see if he can hold up.
There's Goff, pressure. Steps away, back foot looking for Woods, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. That's a positive for the Rams. Robert Woods has missed the last 3 weeks with a shoulder injury. He was dynamic before. He's back today.
Yeah, positive for the Rams. You see what they do on the first possession of games throughout the season. But back-to-back plays, Seattle has done a nice job on defense, diagnosing an attempted screen to Gurley, and then the pressure right there by Sheldon Richardson on Goff made him get rid of it quickly.
3rd and 10. Blitz shown, they get it to Woods, looking for a block. Good move. Robert Woods tackled shy of the first down. That's a heck of a tackle by Thomas, because that looked like a first down all the way, and they're going to be short.
The best eraser in the NFL makes his first play of the game, does Earl Thomas. Look at the block there by Havenstein, 79. Looks like he had cleared enough space for Robert Woods, and then Earl Thomas takes care of business from the deep free safety position, stops him short of a first down.
And so now Greg Zuerlein will try a 36-yard field goal. He's only missed 2 all year. Ironically, one of them was a 36-yarder against Seattle. And this one is good. And so the Rams, off the turnover, take the early lead, but Seattle's D does their job. Thanks in part to Earl Thomas, but it's the Rams who jump out in front. This is the Week 5 matchup in Los Angeles. Seattle held on, a 6-point win. Earl Thomas made a huge play in that game, and they turned over the Rams 5 times. So this one starts the opposite way, with the Rams getting a turnover and converting into a field goal, which may feel like a win for Seattle.
Yeah, look at that. 107 points now off of takeaways, second most in the NFL, behind Jacksonville, going into this weekend. And they just got, they got it done there. 7th time they've taken away in the first possession of the game.
And so a touchback, and Seattle will start on their own 25-yard line. And a couple notes, Charles, from earlier. Minnesota with a rousing win over Cincinnati. They win the NFC North. So the Vikings, great season continues. Case Keenum was splendid in that game. And here, Russell Wilson, this is almost mind-boggling. He has scored all but one, or had a hand in all but one of his team's touchdowns.
It's one of those statistics that is absolutely, as you said, mind-boggling, but also not good for Seattle.
No.
They need help. They need balance. And they need to help number 3 out.
And they'll try to do it with the run game, and Mike Davis is absolutely flattened. Ethan Westbrook's made the hit.
They moved him in about 4 or 5 games ago to be the starter at nose because they wanted someone a little stouter inside. And look what he does against Ethan Posich. A 6'6" guard, Kevin, is Posich, who does a really nice job as a technician, but when you're 6'6", leverage is difficult. Can you bend down and take on that power? Westbrook's got lower and won that battle.
And so a loss of 2 on 2nd down. Blitz coming. Picked up. Wilson going to go deep for Baldwin. Incomplete. Excellent coverage that time by Tremaine Johnson.
Watch out, Tremaine Johnson. See how he eyes him? Now he's got him there. Let's see how he gets his head turned around, locates the football, and is able to make a play on it. Baldwin's up first, but Johnson's right there to help knock it away. And LaMarcus Joyner sprints over and almost comes up with a pick on the tip ball.
Interesting of note for this Rams secondary, they lost Kayvon Webster, who was a very good starting quarterback last week. So Troy Hill, number 32, will get a lot of play. Right now, there he is, Charles. Thanks. On a 3rd and 12. Wilson in trouble, and down he goes, and a penalty to boot. Aaron Donald got there first, and Barwin was there as well. Now let's see the penalty, as Ed Hockley is our referee today.
Holding, offense number 76. The penalty is declined. Brings up 4th down.
So normally Hockley for Seattle means good things. We talked about the offensive line at the start, Charles.
And once again, Aaron Donald, you've got to block him, but executing it, entirely different matter. And Los Angeles off to the start that they want, shutting down Seattle on offense, getting the ball back for the 2nd time today.
So Ryan will punt from his own end line. Pharaoh Cooper waiting back at his own 45. Makes the grab, gets a block, and he's out of bounds at the 49-yard line. And for the 2nd straight time, good field position for the Rams. So far, the D is coming to play. A sack, a forced fumble, and a lead early. Second straight possession, the Rams have excellent field position. First time because of a turnover, and now the defense did their job, and they'll start at midfield. And Jared Goff, he's only played 2 games against Seattle, but they haven't been very good.
Remember last year, they came here right after Jeff Fisher was fired. 3 days later on a Thursday nighter, so that wasn't very good. And then the season opener this year, as you have already articulated, they turned it over 5 times.
First down, a play fake. Goff over the middle, and it's complete to Woods, who makes a diving grab for a first down and a gain of 14.
You know, the Rams love to throw the ball in the middle of the field. They're going to go to the line of scrimmage and go fast now because they like their tempo. And they're able to do it because they run the ball so effectively with Gurley. It brings the linebackers up off of play fakes. The middle part of the field ends up open.
Here's Goff. Going to swing it to Gurley in the flat. And Gurley going to be taken out by Terrence Garvin out of bounds. They do that a lot. A lot of times they'll go and just kind of sit there and read the defense. Why?
Well, what they want to do is have Sean McVay reading the defenses as well, hearing from up top, what are you guys seeing? And he can call an audible into the headset of Jared Goff. He has up until 15 seconds on the play clock before it shuts off. But sometimes they'll just go up there and go quicker because they want to move Seattle around right now. They want to test Bobby Wagner in the middle and test his legs.
Second down, Gurley gets the carry, makes a nice cut. Gurley, first down and more, inside the 20. Explosion from Todd Gurley on the cut, and a first down run and a gain of 15.
And we can talk all we want about the so-called skill position guys. You know who's controlling this game right now? The offensive front of the Rams. Look at this right here. That block there on Richardson. Gurley goes past him. Good blocks downfield. And now Gurley's up into the third level, into the secondary, and gaining extra yards.
Just 2 carries, already 29 yards for Todd Gurley. He only had 43 against Seattle the last matchup. From the 17, Gurley again, stretch right. McDougal's going to run him out of bounds after give him about 4 on that carry.
When the Rams really want crucial yardage running the football, they want to go to the left side with Whitworth, Saffold, and John Sullivan at center. But Jamon Brown and Rob Havenstein, their skill and their strength is in run blocking. So don't think that they'll neglect the right side when they want the ball on the ground as well.
Josh Reynolds in the game as a wide receiver. He's gotten a lot more play the last few weeks. He's at the top of your screen, the rookie, on a second down and 6. And we get a whistle here as they give it to the backup tight end Everett, but there's no play.
Everett has run the ball already this year. He has 1 carry for 13 yards. He's a tight end, but they like to use him more like a wide receiver with his skills.
The defender did not enter the neutral zone. Therefore, it's a false start by the offense. Number 98. 5-yard penalty. Second down. The clock should be 8:56. 8:56.
He said number 98 for the Rams. That would be Connor Barwin, an outside linebacker, who I don't believe was in the game at that time. So numbers can get confused, but they have the call.
Look at the difference here in the red zone. Jared Goff has been splendid. 18 touchdowns, no interceptions. Second down and 11 from the 18. Goff, pressure coming. He's in trouble. On the run. Pumps. Lets it fly incomplete. Just getting away. A victory for Goff there. Hot pursuit from Richardson. There is Chris Richard. Got his hands full. Seattle's without a lot of their stars, right? Richard Sherman is out. Cam Chancellor is out. Cliff Averill is out. KJ Wright is out. But that guy is in, and that's a big deal for Seattle.
It certainly is. And when you ask Chris Richard about losing those guys, he just says business as usual. Let's go play.
And we get movement here, all kinds of it. Bennett and Havenstein. Don't know who moved first. Let's see.
Encroachment, defense, number 72. 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
And as you know, Kevin, from covering Seattle for a lot of years, this is not unusual with Michael Bennett, is it? Because Seattle relies on quick jumps first step quickness from the defensive line. They accumulate a good number of encroachment penalties and getting across the line of scrimmage before the ball is snapped because they want to get that little bit of an extra edge. And Michael Bennett got caught on that one.
3rd down and 6. Goff has time, fires, drops. Cooper Kupp headed his way, and he couldn't make the connection. And so Seattle both times holds in the red zone.
You'll see him moving before he tucks it away because he feels that, see how he's starting to move to the inside? He's thinking to himself, catch the football, turn inside and get upfield and get to the end zone, but he forgot the #1 rule, catch the football.
So Cooper Kupp has had a wonderful Rams rookie season, but he's had a couple of issues. Of course, Rams fans know he dropped the potential game-winning touchdown against Seattle the last matchup. So it'll be Zerline from 31 yards out. And he's got it.
And Seattle may be down 6-0, Kevin, but they're feeling very fortunate right now that they only gave up 2 field goals on the first 2 drives.
Welcome to the jungle.
So the Rams have the early lead, but Seattle really did their job because they had great field position both times. And it's 6-0 Los Angeles. Bobby Wagner smiling. He's just happy to be playing today. He's an impressive guy. All-pro linebacker. Led the league in tackles last year, toughing it out here today.
They really need Seattle needs a play to loosen things up a little bit for them. Bad field position to start the first 2 drives. They need to be able to get out there and get their offense going.
Short kick, and Lockett going to kind of tiptoe out to the 20. And that's about it. Samson Ebukam on the tackle. But the Rams missed an opportunity here, Charles. Cooper Kupp was wide open.
Yeah, we said going to break that Seattle's fortunate to be down only 6. Watch Cooper Kupp and how wide open he is. If he catches it here and turns inside as he's starting to go, look at the gap between Kupp and the defender. And he knew it right away. Cooper Kupp back home in the state of Washington from Yakima, went to Eastern Washington University, wants to have a big game. Parents tried to get about 100 tickets for this game. Said they finally gave up on trying, but he wanted to play. He wants to play well, and that's an early key drop.
So now the Seahawks on offense. Couple series, and they haven't done much. This 14 yards. Wilson to throw. Just going to take off and run. He's got some room, and Russell Wilson picks up 5, and a penalty coming back behind the line to scrimmage. So hang on.
It's a bad spot for a flag for Seattle.
Holding, offense number 76. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
So that's the second one on Dwayne Brown, the veteran Pro Bowler who they got at the trade deadline.
Just look to the left of your screen. You see Brown 76 in blue. And the right hand was inside, I believe, on Robert Quinn 94. You'll get a better view right here. See him where he's tucked right there? Yeah, he's got him. He's got the hook on him, and Quinn continuing to pursue actually illuminated the hold a little bit more for the officials.
So that backs him up to a 1st and 20. Empty backfield. 4-man rush. Wilson guns it, and it is complete. Now it pops out. It's loose, and the ruling on the field is he's down. The ruling on the field is Graham is down. A 23-yard gain. Let's watch.
So there's the catch by Graham.
Definitely a catch.
Going down to the ground. Ball is, it looks like he's got possession. He's being fought for it, though.
Now
with John Johnson III, number 43. They're going to go fast, but now we're going to get a challenge.
So you know what's going to be here. What's going to be here is, was he going to the ground as he caught it, or was he an upright receiver and then fell to the ground?
And
right?
And you know the other question will be, does he really have possession? Because John Johnson is fighting him for the football, 43, and he's got a hand tucked in there as well. So is there really clearly possession on this play?
All right, let's go to Dean Blandino, our rules expert in Los Angeles. Dean, it's right on the borderline here. What are you seeing with Jimmy Graham? I'm not sure if Dean is here. Dean, you hear us out in Seattle?
Yeah, I'm here. This is, and Kevin, I think you made a great point. The issue here is going to be, did the receiver complete the catch while upright, or was he going to the ground to make the catch? to me, it looks like he's going to the ground to make the catch. So what does that mean? He has to survive the ground. The ball comes out. I like this as an incomplete pass. It's close, but again, if you're going to the ground to make the catch, you got to hold on to it all the way to the ground.
Yeah, Dean, we appreciate it, and I think I agree with you here because, you know, momentum-wise, as he's catching it, Charles,
yes,
it looks like he's heading to the ground. Right?
And at the same time, for me, John Johnson contesting it all the way.
Yeah.
43 for the Rams. He's got a hand in there.
Let's look at regular speed, because that's what they do. They will look at it at regular speed.
And that's the key. Regular speed, full speed, that's what everybody's looking at on the field. Did he complete the catch while upright? To me, he's going to the ground, and this pass should be incomplete. All
right, Dean, thank you very much. Good to have Dean Blandino in our back pocket to help us out with those.
Very much so.
An interesting call, right? Seattle puts themselves back in a hole with the penalty. They get a big play to Graham, but remember, the ruling on the field was a catch.
And they're saying he was down. But remember, look at this. If it's ruled later it's a catch fumble, Los Angeles has clear possession on the recovery because he was going to the ground. They're saying he caught the ball and became a runner. Did he force that ball free before they got to the ground?
Right. And, you know, more on Dean's point, as he so astutely pointed out, you know, it's not the old, hey, 2 feet.
Right.
As he's catching it, his body is going down. Let's hear it.
The receiver was going to the ground in the process of catching the ball, and he lost it when he hit the ground. Therefore, by rule, it was an incomplete pass.
You know, Dean Blandino's pretty good.
The Rams are not charged a timeout. They've won the challenge. Please reset the clock.
And Seattle naturally upset because they lose a big gain here and would have given them a first down and gotten them out of the shadow of their goal line. You see, last week for Jimmy Graham, no catches, 3 targets, and 1 play that he was heavily criticized. They didn't make a great effort on the football that turned into an interception by Russell Wilson. So that would have gotten him off to a nice start. Now Seattle backed up again, has to come up with another big play.
So it couldn't be a worse start offensively for Seattle here today. Couple 3-and-outs. Penalty has moved them back. They get that play overturned. And now a 2nd down and 20 coming up. Wilson. 4-man rush. Pressure again. Down he goes again. It's another Ram sack, the 2nd one of the day. Rockers and Longacre were there.
And you know what offensive line coaches tell you all the time if you're an offensive lineman? Don't lose early when you pass block. Well, that's what's happening with the Rams, meaning the pressure is getting to Russell Wilson so fast, he doesn't have enough time to truly set and look downfield. He's trying to find an exit door right away. So they're losing way too quickly in their pass protection, and the Rams are forcing the issue.
Thing is, Donald made that play. He blew through the center guard gap, and then it forced Russell Wilson into the sack.
Lost early. He was right in there.
3rd and 24 now. They'll sling it near side to Lockett, and Lockett has nowhere to go. Nickel Roby-Coleman was there, and another Seahawks punt, and boos raining down in Seattle.
And Nickel Roby-Coleman, 5'8", 178 pounds. Look how he takes on 2 blockers right here. Now watch what he does. Splits the 2 blockers and gets right to the ball carrier. That is a fantastic play by Nickel Roby-Coleman. Not supposed to be a big, strong guy, but he split 2 blocks by Paul Richardson, number 10, and 89, Doug Baldwin.
Rams special teams have been great. 3 block punts this year, 2 of them for touchdowns, including 1 last week against Philadelphia. Ryan gets this one off. It's a low line drive kick. Cooper has some room. Pharaoh Cooper looking for blocks. Makes a cut. Cooper up the gut. Pharaoh Cooper all the way down at the 1.
So did he get all the way to the goal line? Right there, he's going down. The ball hits a little bit short. See, it's a little bit short of the goal line. And look at the official right on the goal line, spying it down all the way. And he immediately said, down, be short of the goal line. Excellent call, excellent vision by the official. But the whole thing started with a low punt by John Ryan. No height on the punt. It was an excellent return ball. And then watch what Pharaoh Cooper does and look at the initial blocks. Thomas 88 with an initial block. Good block there by 54 Hager. Look at the blocking that he's getting, and then he breaks a couple of tackles, and now he's got himself a full convoy.
The Rams have the best special teams in the NFL. It's not even close. It's amazing what they've been able to do. A 53-yard return for Cooper. And LA already up 6-0 will have it at the 1 with a chance to put the early hammer down.
And if you don't sneak it right away here with Goff, you come right at him with Gurley.
That's what they'll do. It's Gurley! Touchdown! What a start.
I'm reflecting on our conversation with middle linebacker Alec Ogletree of the Los Angeles Rams. You're going to see an easy wedge here by the offensive line. Look at that. Sullivan, 65. Jamon Brown, 68. They create space. Saffold, 76, and he waltzes in. But what I would come back to is he told us we're winning in all three phases of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. And we've seen all three show up here early for the Los Angeles Rams.
Zerline's extra point is up, and it is perfect. And the Los Angeles Rams, special teams have been huge for them. They were again here with Cooper the return, setting up Gurley's touchdown and a big lead early. Well, this has been quite the start for the Rams, and it could have been way more. Seattle's D held twice after good field position. The offense for Seattle hasn't done anything. They've turned it over, and they let up a 53-yard punt return that set up the Todd Gurley touchdown. So it's 13-0 Rams. And now here's Seattle, who are looking for a spark here. But the punt and the punt return, the big plays.
Now watch, as you see going downfield, that's Kevin Peterson blocking as a gunner against Nico Thorpe. But watch the backside. That block there by 88 Michael Thomas knocks Justin Coleman into Nico Thorpe and knocks them both out of the way and off of the play. And then some excellent blocks and good vision and running by Pharaoh Cooper sets Los Angeles up inside the 1. Look at Goff. He's fired up because he knows this is a short drive now to try and get a touchdown, and they did.
So Seattle has more penalty yards than actual yards so far in this game. They'll try to get the run game going with Davis. Good move. Davis shimmies by a defender, and he's got a first down. He left Ogletree in the dust.
And that was a spark that Seattle sorely needed. A really nice move by Mike Davis. You see him cut back to the inside. Ogletree overruns the play. Good vision by Davis, and he ran with some nice power to shrug off Ogletree. Remember when Thomas Rawls was a hero? 2015, when he stood in for an injured Marshawn Lynch.
Well, now it's Davis's turn. He'll get it again behind a lead block of Van Ness. A good run from Davis here. He's got a pickup of 5, and we've got a game break. Let's check in with Carissa Thompson.
Thanks, Kevin. Almost a storybook ending for Aaron Rodgers after they recovered an onside kick. He connects with Geronimo Allison, catches the pass over the middle, but then fumbles the ball. Panthers recover. Carolina wins this one 31-24. Kevin?
Carissa, thanks. Carolina's got 10 wins. Rodgers threw 3 picks today, though. First game back in a while.
3 picks, and they still had a chance late, as Carissa just showed us.
Usually do with him. Second down and 5 here in Seattle. Fake on the run. Pressure in Wilson's face. They get it out to Graham, who gets tackled immediately. What a tackle that was by Corey Littleton.
Terrific play by Littleton, but how about Aaron Donald to start things off? We talk about what he does in the pass rush. How about his agility on this play? Because watch Donald inside, number 99. Watch what he does. See him spins there. He notices that Graham's trying to get in the route, bumps him off of it, and then pursues him downfield where Littleton's able to clean that up. That's great football intelligence by Aaron Donald, recognizing the play coming his way.
A play lost 2, so a 3rd and 7. Wilson, 4-man rush, coming near side. McKissick's got it. First down, Seattle. J.D. McKissick, who's a versatile player and a former wide receiver, converts for a gain of 9.
And they utilize him to his strengths. Former wide receiver, slot type of a player. They like to utilize him against linebackers and safeties, and he won on that one to give Seattle another first down. This is a drive they need, not just for themselves, but give their defense a chance to regroup a little bit as well.
Well, Russell Wilson said, I asked him about starting slow in a lot of these games. He said, look, it's not magic. It's third downs early. That's their first third down conversion. Here's Wilson with time. And it batted down at the line of scrimmage that time. I think Tyron Walker is the guy who got it. He did. Second down and 10.
Fourth pass broken up for the year for Tyron Walker, batting him down. Watch how he can't get to Russell Wilson, but what's he do? Gets his arms up into the passing lane, hoping to affect the play. And that's exactly what he does. Big left arm knocks it away. There's Wade Phillips, the defensive coordinator. 40 years in the NFL, 35 as either a head coach or a defensive coordinator.
Second down, Davis. Mike Davis looking for a seam. There's just not much there. And he forces his way forward for a 2-yard gain. Well played by the Rams.
This is a very fast Rams defense. You really need to be a one-cut-and-go runner with them. If you're going to string things out, they tend to run you down. So when you see a seam or a crack, anything you can find, go right now and run with power. Because if you try and string it out, oftentimes they will run you down and finish off the play.
And it's true, but that's what makes it weird that they're 28th in the league at stopping the run. It doesn't seem to make sense.
It doesn't really coordinate, does it?
No.
It doesn't match up.
Third and 8 for Seattle coming. That's McKissick again in motion at the bottom of your screen. Wilson, pocket collapses, throws incomplete. He was looking for Richardson, and he had him, but led him a little bit too much in a punt coming for Seattle.
And that's a missed opportunity because if they connect there, that's another first down for Seattle.
And so last time in this situation, Ryan with a low punt, Cooper with a 53-yard return. And again, it bears repeating. The Rams have blocked 3 punts this year. Cooper going to let it go, and it bounces into the end zone. So not exactly what Seattle wanted. So Seahawks had a drive there that they missed here. Rams football and their lead. You know, Charles, it's pretty hard to win when your average starting field position's your own 21, and the other team, the Rams, are getting it on your 31. Turnover, punt return, 13-0 Los Angeles. First time they're starting in their own territory here, and Gurley makes a nice reverse cut, breaks a tackle, makes another man miss. What a run by Todd Gurley, who leads the NFL with 14 touchdowns.
And that play should have been done in the backfield of the Rams. Look at Bobby Wagner, 54. He's got a chance early. Can't get him. He makes an excellent move and cut. And right there, Shaquille Griffin, the rookie, he's got a chance. Made him miss. Earl Thomas, one of the better tacklers in the league. He misses before Terrence Garvin finally puts him over the sideline.
Todd Gurley's got 42 yards rushing. He's one less than he had the entire game when they met in Week 5. Second down, they'll run it again. Big hole, Gurley makes a move across the 40. And the running lanes are huge for the Rams thus far.
Right side of the Los Angeles Rams line. Watch how dominant they are here. Havenstein, right tackle, number 79. Jamon Brown, 68. Look at everyone matched up. And look at the lane right there for Gurley. Man on man, and now Todd Gurley. He's got the vision to see who's coming to tackle him with Earl Thomas. Wants to put a move on him and gets past him before being brought downfield.
Goff on the play fake. A lot of time. Looking, rolling, firing, incomplete. Looking for Sammy Watkins. A really good coverage there.
What a difference a year makes for a young quarterback, though, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Look, that wasn't a completion, and Jared Goff hasn't had any spectacular throws yet, but he is managing this game like a seasoned veteran. Not taking shots that aren't there. If the play isn't there, he's throwing it away and living for another down. Very calm and cool despite the pressure he's seen early from Seattle.
Malcolm Brown in the game at running back now for the first time, and Brown will get it up the middle for Wagner corrals him. And that'll bring up a third down. Well, you talked about Goff, the difference. I mean, it looks like a different quarterback, Charles. And last year he didn't play in the middle of the year, and it wasn't good. The whole team wasn't good, right? But Last year, 0-7 with Goff. This year, obviously, 9-4. How about the yards per attempt? They're making big plays. 3 yards more than last year. 22 touchdown passes. He had 5 all of last year. Goff, his passer rating is 7th best in the National Football League. That's what most people don't realize.
Change in regime, change in coaching for him. It's had a major effect.
Rams 0 for 2 on 3rd down. Blitz picked up, throw complete. What a move by Woods, and he's got a first down. He dusted Byron Maxwell because that wouldn't have been enough for a first, but that move got it for him.
Seattle decided to bring pressure at Jared Goff. Watch Bobby Wagner, number 54, and also Terrence Garvin, 52. They do what they call an X stunt. They cross behind each other, and then Woods makes the nice catch. Big move, and it's been all Rams here in the first quarter.
Yep, they've got a 13-0 lead after 1. So this is the updated playoff picture in the NFC. Eagles won today, Vikings won today, Saints won today. Obviously, this game is monumental, and like right now, Seattle, if they were to lose, the issue for them is, of course, they're still in it, but they lost to Atlanta, and so they're really 2 games behind. So big this one for a lot of reasons. As we start the second quarter, 13-0 Rams. Along with Pam Oliver and Charles Davis, I'm Kevin Burkhardt in Seattle, and a 1st and 10 for Goff, who throws complete to Woods for another first down. And Charles, I got to tell you, I know we're 10 seconds into the second quarter, but this feels like a have to stop for Seattle's D here. And
watch Robert Woods win right at the line of scrimmage. Look at that move he put on Byron Maxwell. Worked him to the outside, got Maxwell to lean that way, came inside, and then look at the dart that Goff puts on him. Put it right between the 1 and the 7 to pick up another first down. Maxwell came over. They had to pick him up after the injuries with Richard Sherman. Had to insert him into the lineup. He's struggling with Robert Woods here in the early going.
Yeah, Woods has 4 catches for 41 yards already. They'll run it. Gurley again. Cuts left. Wagner in pursuit, and Wagner brings him down after a pickup of only 1.
You notice right before the ball was snapped, the eyes of Earl Thomas at free safety peering in. See how he's looking at Jared Goff? When we talk about Jared Goff, I said, who's the one guy you have to focus on? I said, it's hard to get one guy. But on a key down, I've got to know where Earl Thomas is going to be. And there's another key guy there, Bobby Wagner, making the play. But Goff will focus on Thomas all game long in key situations.
That's Austin in motion. He gets it. Tavon Austin's first touch today. He's looking for some room. Cuts back the field entirely. Looking for blocks. Gets some blocks. Gurley with a good one. And Austin's going to come up about 1.5 yards shy of a first down. A lot of running. About 100 yards worth for Austin, but he gets close to a first.
And think of this. No one held. No one clipped. Watch how the Rams handle all of this. He comes back across. Now watch him as he cuts back this way. Watch how a line forms of Rams. See, now the white jerseys getting involved. And there's Gurley, who throws the block late that you described, Kevin, for Tavon Austin going across field.
3rd down and 1. Gurley up the middle. Boy, is this close. I don't think he got it. But while they sort this out, we have a game break. Let's check in with Carissa.
Thanks, Kevin. Such a wonderful sight right here. Ryan Shazier at the game. His team down early, 7-0. Ben Roethlisberger finds Eli Rogers for an 18-yard touchdown. Winner of this game will be in control of the #1 seed in the AFC, all tied up at 7. Kevin?
Wow, that is great to see, Carissa. Charles, 4th down.
Listen, if they don't pick this, if they don't have this, I expect them to go for it here.
And they don't. They are, inches short. It's 4th and inches here.
Greg Zuerlein is Mr. Automatic as a field goal kicker, but this has the feel to me of a Rams team in control, a head coach who knows his defense is playing well, and he wants to put a real hammer down in this situation.
This is a monumental play early. 4th and inches. They'll run it. They'll fake it. Goff looking, throwing tip, intercepted by Seattle. Will Horde has it, and the Seahawks hold. McDougal got the piece. Big play from the Seahawks. A no-go on 4th down. Seattle takes over. Well, Seattle makes a huge play. Rams go for it on 4th and inches. They don't get it. Wait till we show you the play that Bradley McDougal made. But we'll do it after this 1st down. Now let's see if the offense can take advantage. 1st and 10 for the Seahawks. They will run it to Davis, and Davis goes nowhere. Aaron Donald playing a heck of a game. Here's the play by McDougal, Charles.
Okay, so watch what McDougal does. Number one, I thought they overthought this. Should have just run the football. 4th and that short, sneak it or give it to Gurley. But he takes away Everett there. That's the first move by McDougal. Now watch the second move. Tips the ball, and then Will Hoyt, who was actually late on the field in the substitution, picks it off. Now if you nitpick, Will Hoyt should just drop the football there and gain a few extra yards. But instinct, yeah, nice play. Great stand by Seattle.
McDougal playing for the injured Cam Chancellor. He's been great. What a pickup for them. And now a penalty. And this, the indication, it's on Seattle.
False start offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
Think they might mean 65? Jermaine Ifedi?
I think
got to be the right tackle who struggled with penalties throughout this season. He came into the game with 17 penalties called against him, 13 accepted. Had 4 last week in Jacksonville, and they've been talking to him about maturity, having poise, playing the game the way it needs to be played. They've got to cut down on the penalties.
Charles, Mark Barron is out of the game. He was out at the end of the last series, too. It's Corey Littleton in on linebacker. Here's Wilson to throw. Going to let it fly way high for Baldwin, who was open. But Wilson just missed him.
Back-to-back series, they've missed opportunities. A 3rd down throw to Paul Richardson, a little bit long. And this throw down the middle. Watch number 89, Doug Baldwin. He gets right there. Ball's got to be gone and on him there. And he airmails it a little bit. He had a chance. Russell Wilson is magic in the 4th quarter. The key for Seattle, can they keep it close enough so that that magic can take effect in the 4th quarter? That's where they have to get. That's why they have to get going.
Yeah, Wilson so far 4 of 9 for 31 yards. 3rd and 15 now. Wilson from his own end zone, looking, firing it way deep down the field. It is incomplete. 2 Seahawks were right there at the same spot. Richardson was there, Lockett was there, but so were the Rams, who knocked it away.
You mentioned Troy Hill earlier in the game, Kevin, having to play for the injured Kayvon Webster. He makes the play coming across the top. John Johnson, 43, gets involved late, but look at the hand, the white glove, right arm of Troy Hill, knocking that one away from Richardson. And the pressure has been on Russell Wilson all game. No surprise. Number 99, Aaron Donald. They exchanged jerseys at the end of the first game. Russell Wilson, Aaron Donald. Looks like they're trying to exchange jerseys early in this game. Donald draped on Wilson.
Well, you hit it at the beginning of the game. The offensive line, Pete Carroll felt good about it. They have been getting crushed in this game so far. No easy way to put it. Rams D is coming to play. Ryan's punt. Here's Cooper. Good kick. Cooper looking to set up his blocks. Gets through the initial line, breaks another tackle. Pharaoh Cooper still going. What a game for Cooper. He had a 53-yard return earlier, and he breaks this one deep into Seattle territory. Breaking through Seahawks, and Cooper for 26.
See how he broke the tackle there by number 19, Tanner McAvoy? Luke Wilson, 82, also missed him. McAvoy had that early catch that turned into a fumble. Now he misses Cooper in the open field on special teams. Look at a block downfield by Ekuban, number 50. And there's the special teams coach. Owns Fossil, who was the interim coach last year when they played this game after Jeff Fisher had been fired. He became the interim head coach of the Rams for that game and finished the season, but stayed on the new regime as their special teams coach.
And the special teams again giving the Rams great field position. So after all that, after the failed 4th down, they're right back at it at the Seattle 36. Up 13, 10 plus to go in the half. Here's Donald throwing and completing to Watkins on the far sideline. Let's go down to the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, an already thin Seahawks secondary may be getting a little thinner. Their nickel cornerback, Justin Coleman, he's injured. Coleman has a chest injury. His return is questionable, and things are getting a little interesting down here. There are many upset players. Back to you.
Well, that is obviously a problem. So Pam on the Seattle sideline. Guys getting angry with it on 13-0. This is an emotional team. Gurley breaks through. Todd Gurley is having his way today. He's down to the 19, and he broke another tackle, that time of Griffin for a gain of 10.
Last season, there were many people criticized Todd Gurley for his vision in running the football. They didn't show enough of it. How about the vision here? See how he breaks it out left? He sees Shaquille Griffin coming for him and breaks it outside. Griffin doesn't take a good angle, and then look at that. All great backs have the excellent straight arm in their arsenal, and he put that one on Terrence Garvin.
Gurley is having a game. 9 carries, 68 yards, and a touchdown. This is Austin in motion. They're pitched to Gurley going left. Again, gets a wall. And see where they marked him out of bounds for a short game. Todd Gurley this year has been spectacular. I mean, he should be in the MVP mix, honestly, because you look at where he ranks. Second in scrimmage yards coming in, only Le'Veon Bell had more. Third in the league in rush yards. He has got the most touchdowns in the league. That was before today. He added one today to make it 14. Explosive runs, he's got that. Explosive passes, he's got 8 passes over 25 yards. He has been everything for the Rams. Here's Goff under pressure, slinging it out to Kupp. Cooper Kupp makes the grab inside the 5. Still going, and Kupp is down. They mark him at the 1.
This is a very proud Seattle defense, as we know. 5 straight years, they're in the top 5 in total defense and scoring defense. This year, not quite the same with the injuries and lack of continuity. I think they're trying to tackle the football more than the player. See Earl Thomas go for the ball there and miss it. You see him reaching a grab there for the ball. Cooper Kupp got extra yards with bad tackling.
And Gurley will get it again. Touchdown number 15. It is a dominating first half for the Los Angeles Rams.
And Pam Oliver just talked about how upset the sideline is in Seattle. It's going to be way more upset now. They have hung in there and fought and scrapped. They got them on a 4th and short and held the Rams, gave the offense the ball back. It came right back at them, and the Rams took it this time and stuck it in the end zone. And the offensive line, when they're not dominating in run blocking, Todd Gurley's making things happen, even if he doesn't get great blocks. They're getting a nice combination and an excellent mesh of offensive line and running back right now.
This has been impressive. You just don't see Seattle at home in December getting manhandled like this. But this Rams team is for real. And they're putting it on the Seahawks here today. 20-0. 2 touchdowns for Gurley. Big plays all over here from Kupp. That set it up, and then Gurley, his league-leading 15th score of the year. 20-0. LA. This was during the break. Chris Richard, I mean, passionate, you name it. He was going on his defense there as this kick was out of bounds by Zerline. That's a weird one. So the first mistake really by the Rams, or the second, I guess, and Seattle will take over with great field position. Pam Oliver's down the sideline. Pam, I'd love to know what Richard was saying down there.
Well, I'll try to give you the clean version. Yeah, Chris Richard, he was really challenged his defensive players. He brought them together there, as you saw. He told them to just forget about the score. He asked them several times, do we know who we are? Act like it. He also said that this is an important time for us now, and we just have to bond, stick together, but remember who we are.
And Pam, you know what he tells his guys each and every week? If you bring effort, energy, and consistency, I will do the same. He's asking him to bump that up right now.
Well, the Seahawks in quite a hole. Down 20-0 here in the first half. Wilson going to set it up to Davis. Here's Mike Davis. Gets 2 good blocks. And Davis out across midfield for a first down and some life for the Seattle offense. And, you know, Charles, the reality is, you know, the Seattle D, they're missing tackles. That's the uncharacteristic thing. But, I mean, the Rams have had the ball in their territory every time to start.
The Rams only ran 45 offensive plays last week against Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And in their loss to Minnesota, only 56. They were averaging 64 on the year. They are running more of a Rams offense today, and Seattle's defense is on the run.
Here's Wilson. Quinn coming with pressure. Wilson dropped the football. It's loose, and the Rams have it. Wilson trying to escape from Robert Quinn's rush, just lost it. And Barwin was there.
Robert Quinn has been an absolute force in the last 3 games. 5 sacks, 13 quarterback pressures coming into this ball game. So watch Quinn here. Now playing outside linebacker, coming off of the edge, work against Dwayne Brown, and got upfield and forced the play. Wilson drops the football. Barwin's there, but I believe
I think it was
someone,
Morgan Fox.
Yeah, Morgan Fox came in and got it on the backside. See Barwin reaching for it, and then Fox comes and cleans it up. But that play was forced by Robert Quinn, number 94. And again, look at this field position for Los Angeles as they start offense.
From the 39, it's Goff. Looking to dump it off to Gurley. A lot of room. Breaks the tackle. No, he gets taken down right around the first down. That should be enough to move the chains for Gurley. It was McDougal on the stop.
And he needed to make that play, because if he doesn't, I think Todd Gurley may chest bump the goalpost at the end of that run. They actually used Seattle's passion against them on that first play. The pass rush came, and they ran the screen against them.
First down, they'll run it. Gurley, patience, and he's down inside the 25. But Gurley's going to pick up 5 more. Boy, he is getting big chunks here. Gurley's averaging 6.7 a carry. He's already up to 87 yards rushing.
Which makes that 4th and short call even a little more mysterious, doesn't it?
Yep.
I understood Sean McVay going for it. In fact, I encouraged it. But I thought with the ball that short, sneak it or give it to Gurley. Well, it didn't cost him anything. Ended up getting the touchdown the very next possession. Now they're in position again to score points.
On second down, they'll run Gurley again. Why not? And Gurley, who gets down to the 20. So a 3rd down and 1 is coming up. It was Garvin on the tackle. So Richard challenging his defense, who desperately need to stop. But again, here is part of it too. Look at where they started, Charles.
I mean, you're talking about prime real estate in order to get the football, and look at how they've capitalized on all but 1 possession. The interception came on a 4th and short.
Yeah. Only 1 possession started in their own territory. 3rd down and 1. With time, looking, completing first down. It's the tight end. They get it to Tyler Higbee, and another Rams first down.
I don't care if the Legion of Boom was here playing. With this amount of time, someone's going to come free. Look at Jared Goff. He doesn't even need to dance around and extend the play. He just stays in the pocket and moves just a little bit for sight lines and finds Tyler Higbee for the connection. No one even near him in the backfield.
Malcolm Brown is in, and he gets the ball, and he works his way down to the 5.
So Gurley gets a 1-play breather, because you got to bring him back out here in this situation, because he's such a threat, whether he catches it out of the backfield or you hand it to him. And here he comes back onto the field. With this offensive line, I'm thinking hard about, I'm going to keep the ball on the ground and see what we can do with grinding it and let those guys feel good about themselves if they can get it done.
Defense has been out there a lot for Seattle. And they'll run again to Gurley, as you said. Gurley cuts it up the field hard, and he's down inside the 2.
To me, this is 4-down territory. Okay,
really?
Yes, without a doubt for me, because the way that they are moving the offensive line, I keep going ahead and pounding away. Make them stop you. because the 2 touchdowns they've scored, the offensive linemen scored the touchdown before Gurley. They pushed him back into the end zone. Let's see if they go ahead and run another power play out of it.
It's the only offensive line in the NFL that has played all 5 of their starters the same the whole year, and boy, are they showing it today. Goff will throw it, the wide open touchdown. It is Woods.
And how about what they came out with? They've had the success running the power. They come out and quickly run to the line of scrimmage and go empty set. Jared Goff only in the backfield by himself. Gurley in a pass pattern, and Seattle scrambling to catch up. Watch them come out. Watch them come out. And they come up quick to the line of scrimmage. You got 2 over here, 3 over here, and Goff has his pick.
Zerline on for the extra point. It is up and good, and it is a blowout in Seattle. Almost staggering. Hard to believe as the Rams trying to become the new king of the mountain in the NFC West, and they are dominating. They're ready for bowl season next Wednesday, the Foster Farms Bowl. Arizona takes on Purdue on Fox, and then next Thursday, the Holiday Bowl, Washington State against Michigan State on FS1. Live college football coming your way. Oh, this has been a stunner in Seattle, and plenty of folks thought the Rams would come here and get a W, or could come here and get a W. Certainly, I think 27-0 in the first half of a team that has been so good for so many years here, but they are getting it to them here today. And again, they'll start with rough field position back at their own 20-yard line. So we started, Charles, talking about a changing the guard game for the Rams. Well, this is looking like it so far.
We were in London earlier this year at Buckingham Palace, and we saw a changing of the guard, but we might be seeing it here today with the way the Rams are playing. They are quicker to the ball in every phase of the game. Special teams, defense, offense. Offensive line has been dominating the defensive front of Seattle so far, and the defensive front of the Rams has put nothing but pressure on Russell Wilson and has snuffed out any semblance of a running game for Seattle thus far.
Seahawks only have 62 yards, and that one could have been a disaster as Johnson came and made the play. Yeah, Seattle has 62 yards of offense, and as you pointed out, Alec Ogletree to us, we were winning in all 3 phases. It's been so refreshing, and for Ogletree, who's been part of losing season after losing season, and quite frankly hasn't had an offense for years.
And now he has one, he and his defense, and they're taking great advantage of it, allowing them to play with even more confidence on their side of the ball.
2nd down and 10. Wilson gonna loft it. He's got a man. McKissick who makes a great adjustment and a catch. That is a great catch by J.D. McKissick.
And you see how fast he got to the official? That means they want to go faster on offense. What a great job, as you described, Kevin, by McKissick seeing the ball. Joyner does not. He comes up with a big-time catch.
So they hustle to the line. Pressure. Wilson in trouble. Wilson running for his life. Aaron Donald threw it backwards. That's a fumble.
No, has anyone called that down?
I haven't seen it. I'm looking.
Ball will be spotted where it went out of bounds.
Yep, it's a fumble.
That ball was live and in play for Los Angeles to get on if they could have. Here's Russell Wilson. Now, we've seen him get out of so many things throughout his career, and especially this season, but Aaron Donald puts the vice grip on him, and he can't get away from that. And watch as the ball comes free. Now it's gone back behind him, and now it becomes a lateral play behind him and goes out of bounds.
And they lost 23 yards on the play. Wilson, far side. Darboh, the rookie, has the catch. Charles, I got to tell you, Aaron Donald, we know how great he is. I think it's hard to have a better first half than he's having here in Seattle today.
And everyone knows you have to block Aaron Donald, so it's not like it's a secret or a surprise. Okay, this is not Adrian Claiborne getting 6 sacks for Atlanta against the Dallas Cowboys. This is Aaron Donald, perhaps the best defensive player in the NFL, and he is still wreaking havoc despite the fact Seattle knows they have to have 2 or 3 people to block him.
3rd and 25, 2-minute warning. Seahawks dejected on their home turf. think those kids are Aaron Donald fans, because Aaron Donald is destroying Seattle today, Charles. 4 tackles, 2 sacks, and I don't know, a gazillion pressures.
And excellent parenting. They came ready for the 12s today.
They did.
Right? With the earmuffs there for the kids.
3rd and 25. I'm not sure what you can call here against a Rams defense that has been stout. 4-man rush. Wilson in trouble. Brockers chasing. Wilson just going to tuck it and run and now throw. I think he's over the line there.
Yeah, there's got to be a flag. He's just trying to make something happen, Kevin, but you nailed it right away. Over the line of scrimmage. Blue line's line of scrimmage. He's clearly passed it when he lets it go. And look at the official right there.
Right on it. Well, that's the thing, Charles. You know, you get in desperation mode, right? You're just trying for anything.
And right now, Darrell Bevel, their offensive play caller, he's got to be looking at his play sheet at Seattle and thinking to himself, Coach Carroll, I don't have 3rd and 35. I don't have that play call. What do they do?
So they'll discuss this. I'm sure it'll be the penalty, the loss of down, or bring up 4th down. But Aaron Donald, we were talking to Darrell Bevel the other day. We're talking about this defensive line. Quinn, you know, especially, he's been hot and he's done damage. He said, look, Quinn's great. You could double him at least. He said it's really hard to double on the inside. He's like, there's not a ton you could do, and that's why Aaron Donald is such a beast.
And if we're waiting for Ed Hockley here, and when he starts, I'll stop. But
there were 2 fouls by the offense on the play. There was an illegal touch. Number 19 of the offense went out of bounds, came back in, and was the first to touch the ball. That penalty is declined. There was also an illegal forward pass. Offense number 3 was beyond the line when he threw the ball. That's a 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul and a loss of down. That foul under 2 minutes also requires a 10-second runoff. So please take the clock from please take the clock from 1-5.
So one play has Ed Hockley trot through the entire rule book. I mean, we got the full synopsis there. I don't need to go to the offseason clinic now. Ed just took me right through it on one single play there, and the Rams are going to get the football back with plenty of clock time left here in the half.
Technically, they could decline the 10-second runoff, but, I mean, why bother? They got 3 timeouts. They really don't have to.
They don't need to.
Yeah,
plenty of time in a great spot. And you're right about trying to double a guy inside. It makes it much more difficult. And remember, the Rams are playing a 3-4 now base defense. So Aaron Donald technically is playing defensive end, but Wade Phillips is so skillful at defensive coordinator, he doesn't care they call it a 3-4. He finds a way to get Aaron Donald inside where he works best over the guards and the centers and continues to be the disruptive force that is maybe the best defensive player in the NFL.
So Ryan to punt it away. Cooper's had a great game already returning.
Got space again.
Pharaoh Cooper makes a man miss. Makes another. Pharaoh Cooper again into Seattle territory. Unbelievable return after return for Cooper, and the Rams in great field position again. It's been a long time since Seattle has gone into the break down this big. Meanwhile, how about Pharaoh Cooper today, Charles? He's got 109 punt return yards. 109.
He came into the game leading the NFL in combined return yards on the year for kickoff returns and punt returns with over 1,000. So he continues to add to that number and gives his Rams great field position once again.
Rams are enjoying this. Gurley is going to pick up 2, as they've got 3 timeouts if they want to take them.
I go back to something Pam Oliver told us earlier about the frustration on the Seattle bench. Let's see if they can continue to maintain their poise out on the field while this is going on, if this continues that way, so we don't have any other incidents.
Got it. Strip shot. Ball is loose. Very alert on the play to dive on it. Clark was the guy who got the sack and forced fumble, but Havenstein jumped on it.
Now, if this doesn't tell you it's the Rams' day, I don't know what does, because what a terrific play by Frank Clark. Watch him come from the top of your screen, number 55. He beats the All-Pro, Andrew Whitworth, And there's the strip sack that you described, Kevin. That's a ball that Seattle normally has a shot at and gets. In this case, it lays there, and the Rams dive on it.
Let's check in right now with Kurt Menefee.
Coming up on the Visa Halftime, we've got Sunday afternoon fever as we'll keep you updated on all the teams trying to stay alive in the playoff race, plus update you on the Patriots and Steelers. It's all coming up on the Visa Halftime. Kevin and Charles, put your dancing shoes on.
We will, Kurt. Thank you very much.
I know that guy right there. He's laced up some dancing shoes, Sean McVay. But what a nice play there by Frank Clark. It's a type of play that tells you that this Seattle team, they don't quit. They keep coming at you. But they needed to be able to get that ball. And that's what they have to have now. They need a takeaway and stop these Rams.
37 seconds to go in the half. 3rd and 20 now. They'll just run it to Gurley. He's got a monster hole. Todd Gurley. He's got the first and more. Todd Gurley all the way. "57 yards on 3rd and 20. Oh, my.
Watch. Remember, they love to run to the left side, but this was a call. And look at the job by Sullivan, 65 to share. See how he positioned? And then look downfield here. Whitworth 77 made a great play, but Roger Saffold had gotten downfield and got a key block, as did John Sullivan. But that call was not designed to go to the end zone. That was a call for 3rd down to set up a punt. And they ended up breaking the whole thing and getting a touchdown.
Todd Gurley, 17 carries, 154 yards, 3 touchdowns in the first half. Incredible. We'll be right back after this message from Wells Fargo. McVay is loving life. He has done an amazing job, and his Rams are killing the Seahawks right now.
Coming right at you is Todd Gurley. Look at the block there by Andrew Whitworth. Inside, 65, Sullivan gets a block. Saffold, downfield, Sammy Watkins. Bobby Wagner tries to come over and make a play, but he's got a bad hamstring to begin with. And Todd Gurley, 43 yards rushing in the first game for the Rams against Seattle. He's well past that today.
Yeah, 154. I'd say he's gone past that mark. As Lockett will run it out. Doesn't get to the 20, 24 seconds ago. KJ Wright out today with a concussion. Can only put his hands on his head. It's got to be driving him crazy. It's been all 3 phases, though, for the Rams.
There's Bobby Wagner giving it a go. Bad hamstring. Got a little hitch in his giddy up there. A little bit of a poor angle as well. He ends up coming underneath the run instead of being able to take the proper angle to the ball. But Todd Gurley's got some jets as well.
Tony Gonzalez said on our NFL kickoff show today with Carissa Thompson that if the Rams win today, they can go to the Super Bowl. I think I agree with him.
I think he's making believers for those who didn't think that before.
Russell Wilson going to dump it off here, just looking for something at Davis. And Mike Davis stay in bounds. 15 seconds left. See if Seattle will run another play.
I think that out for that screen pass there, they might want to just go ahead and take this one to the house.
And it appears you are right. Unbelievable first half for the Los Angeles Rams, making a statement here in Seattle, up 34-0 at the break. As we now take a look at some fun from Week 14. Sounds from the field brought to you by Walmart.com, now offering free 2-day shipping.
Leaving everything got down that field today. Keep doing it. We keep moving. We keep moving. We keep moving. That's how big-time teams play in this environment. Give me that real quick. There it is. We just having fun and we working, baby. That's it, baby.
Rams 34, Seahawks nothing. A stunner at the break. Visa Halftime Show with Kurt and the boys coming up in a moment. Well, I don't think it's an overstatement to say it's the greatest first half or one of in franchise history. I mean, coming to a place in Seattle where they have owned this division, where they have been the team, especially late in the year, and to drop 34 points on it, which, yeah, by the way, the largest halftime lead on the road ever for the Rams. That is something, and that's where we are right now. Meanwhile, for Seattle, flip side, it's the second largest halftime home deficit ever. The only time it was more, 2010, they were down 41 to the Giants. And so we've got the kickoff for the second half. The Rams, remember, won the toss and deferred to start, so they get it here. And they will start it on their own 25. And so we knew this was a big game, Charles. We knew essentially it was for the division, but I don't think anyone could have forecasted this. This has been unbelievable for the Rams.
It really has been. And, you know, Shakespeare talked about uneasy lies the head that wears the crown. And that was Seattle today. And, boy, has it been uneasy for them. And this one, we could bore you with numbers, but this has been about attitude. This is a Rams team that came in here with the idea that they were going to take what they wanted from Seattle, that they were the better team. Seattle was relying on tradition, relying on passion, relying on who they have been, and the Rams so far beating them to the punch at almost every occasion.
Love that you get Shakespeare in there. Of course, Seattle holding the crown, but not today, and maybe no longer. As here is Gurley, who had an incredible first half, 144 yards and 3 touchdowns. Let's go down the sidelines with Pam Oliver.
Well, Kevin, talking to Pete Carroll coming out of the half, he told me that, you know, I told him it's this simple. We've got to play some really good football, and beyond that, whatever happens, happens. He says, of course, this is a prideful group, and they're going to give it all they have. Time for the Rams, John McVay. He said, naturally, we've got to keep this going. I was on the sideline over there, and I heard a Rams official telling me that, hey, you know what? It's been 13 years. We owe them. Back to you.
That's a fair point, Pam. So second down and 7 for Los Angeles. Here is Gurley up the middle. And Gurley out across the 30. So a third down and 5 is coming your way. Well, it has been a long time for the Rams, Charles. I mean, this is a team that, I mean, goodness, they hadn't had a winning season, right, since 2003. They hadn't been in the playoffs since 2004. So it has been a long time coming. That's one thing. Everybody has their bad days, and there's still a long time to go on this one.
And this is a big third down early for the Seattle defense. That pride that Pete Carroll's talked about will be tested on this first third down of the second half.
Then they set a tone, right?
Exactly.
That's Everett in motion. They'll pitch it to Gurley. Running again, left side, flag flies. Gurley is short of a first down. Now let's see the penalty. Looks like the indication it's on the Rams, the hole. Would be only the second penalty on the Rams here today.
Since he came up short, let's take a look right there. Number 81,
Holding.
Gerald Everett.
Offense number 81. The penalty is declined. The play brings up 4th down.
There you go. And so a 3 and out as the Seahawks just try for any kind of momentum here.
That's exactly what they needed to start the second half.
Absolutely.
But Pete Carroll told Pam Oliver, we have to play good football, and whatever happens, happens. Well, it starts with the small stuff. Getting off the field on third down on your first defensive possession, getting the ball back. Can they start to stack things together and create any type of momentum?
Johnny Hecker's a 3-time Pro Bowl punter. And a high kick, fair caught by Lockett, and Seattle will take over. A lot of work to do to start this third quarter. 34-0. All phases working for the Rams today. Defense, special teams, obviously offense. Gurley's over 150 yards rushing. And Aaron Donald, number 99, has been incredible.
His numbers don't look right. They look a little light. Considering the impact you feel like he's had.
He's got 2 sacks and a lot of pressures. And that score is correct if you're just joining us. It's been hard to believe. Rams have dominated. But Wilson looking to change that with a good run, and he picks up 10 and a first down for Seattle. Aaron Donald in the first half, Charles. It's hard to be better.
But look at him lining up there, working against Ethan Posick. Look at him, gets upfield and just gets past the rookie. Now he's working again on Posick, the rookie. Look at him, arm over, makes himself skinny, and creates enough attention that the other guys end up getting the play.
Here comes Donald again, and he got him again. Unbelievable on cue, his 3rd sack of the game.
And he moved over that time. He had been working against the rookie Posick. I believe this time he worked over Luke Joeckel. Watch him coming from the left side of your screen, working over Joeckel, number 78 in blue. Look how he just gets underneath, better leverage with power, and gets to the quarterback.
11 sacks on the year, 3 in the game. He's coming for number 4, and someone else gets Wilson. It's Quinn. Oh my, these Rams are flying. That is the 6th sack of the game for Los Angeles.
Kevin, when we go back to the top of the game, when we came on air, and we talked about what Pete Carroll, the head coach of Seattle, told us. Watch to the left side of your screen. Number 94, Quinn, working against Dwayne Brown. Just gets past him and now uses his speed to knock down Russell Wilson. But he said this is the best offensive line, best play we've had all year. It has not shown up at all today.
Yeah, he was right. In the last month, the O-line has played well, but they are getting theirs today. Here's Wilson on 3rd and forever. Richardson underneath, not close. And here comes a punt. In the last month, Charles, Brown came over. He's played 6 games. They really have solidified. They've played well, and I think Coach Carroll was right. So that's why this is even more surprising. The Rams D-line is legit, but this is dominating.
It's dominating defensive line. Aaron Donald is in a zone now like a good 3-point shooter who hits a bunch in a row. A baseball hitter who now is hitting 500 for the month. He has that zone where he feels like no matter where he lines up, he's going to beat the offensive lineman in front of him.
And then Pharaoh Cooper's had a bunch of good returns today. He's been in the zone 2 today, but that time not much. Aaron Donald all smiles. Rams dominating. Hang on. Tempers flaring before we go to break. Flags.
And absolutely, this is not surprising. Remember, Pam Oliver talks about what Pete Carroll says, a very prideful team, right? They're not going to take very kindly to what's happening out here today. And don't be surprised if you see a few where the guys after the play's over get at each other because they are embarrassed right now and not enjoying what's going on. You see Delano Hill taking a few shots there. Michael Thomas just trying to hold on like, hey, man, let's just let this thing go. And he's taking shots all the way out. That's not much poise right there by the rookie out of Michigan.
The end of the game last week against Jacksonville, there were multiple incidents with Seattle in their loss to the Jags.
After the play is over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness by the Seahawks, number 42. He is ejected from the game. That's a 15-yard penalty that's enforced at the end of the play. Rams ball, first down.
And absolutely, I believe this is the right call because watch how the Rams are. When we were watching before, the way the Rams were reacting, they were trying to quell it. And he continued to hit guys with blows.
Break. I don't know how you don't get teary-eyed at these, Charles. These reunions from our U.S. servicemen and women. Look at this.
And at holiday time, too, it becomes even more pronounced because of the time frame. And look at that. Family being reunited. And we cannot thank the men and women of our armed services who do so much for us. And, yes, how about that? Welcome home, sir.
Fantastic.
And thank you.
Here, our score, 34-0 Rams, who will throw with Goff on the run, hitting Cooper Kupp on the far side of the field. So Cooper Kupp, Charles, here he is, Rams rookie record, right? I mean, he's been great. 56 receptions coming in. That's a rookie record, as you said earlier, from Yakima, Washington. It's about a 2-hour drive southeast from here. This has got to be special for him.
And not only that, he's an NFL legacy that wasn't talked about much growing up. His grandfather played the New Orleans Saints with Archie Manning.
Yep.
His father was a quarterback, I think, with the Cardinals at one point.
Drafted by the Giants.
Yeah, and said that they never really talked about it, but now after games, that's all they want to do is talk football.
Here's Gurley. And Gurley stacked up really the first time all day. Yeah, Kupp has been one of these stories why the Rams so successful. So Yakima, Washington, that's where we're from, right? Davis High School, where he was a star. And then you want to talk about Eastern Washington University. Division I career leader in receptions, yards, and touchdowns. Amazing. 3rd-round pick, having a great year, playing in front of his hometown, his family, his friends, drove here. And he said growing up, he was a Seahawks guy. He was a those Sean Alexander teams. And then he said he started to watch the best games after a while because he was just a football fan. And now he's against them and doing well on a 3rd down coming your way as Goff will fire complete. 2 walk-ins for Another first down. But one more thing, just finishing on Kupp, right? We had the pleasure to talk to him. Talked about the legacy.
Yes.
I love the post-game conversations.
Yeah. Well, he said growing up, his grandfather and his father didn't talk much about their NFL career. He said, so now I make it to the NFL, and after a ball game, we have to have a mandatory 30-minute conversation breaking down the game, which we never did when I was growing up, until we could move on. He said, my wife, she's getting a little frustrated, wants to spend more time, and it's like, no, we're talking game first. So grandfather and father, extremely proud of that young man.
There are. 1st and 10. A little trickery going to come to Tavon Austin, who's got some blocks. Austin inside the 20. Tavon Austin is really no longer a wide receiver. He's a running back, and that time turned on the Jets for a gain of 18.
Yeah, he's really, at this stage, he's Inspector Gadget. Because watch Austin, number 11, coming right back at you. There's the fake to Gurley, the little toss to Austin. Now watch the blocking for him. Saffold 76 out in front. Gets a nice block. He gets out in front here. Look at the block there by Higbee. 17 Woods got involved blocking downfield. Right now the Rams in sync, and everybody getting a piece of the action on individual plays.
Got to throw it. Gets rid of it quickly. It's Woods coming to the near side, who's got his 6th catch of the day. Happy to see him back after missing the last 3. Oh, I think we might have some Yakima folks here, Charles.
Well, they did say they tried to get about 100 tickets together. And how about that young man keeping an eye, because he came in with 56, now up to 58 on the catches. So the math is working pretty well. There he was wearing Cooper Kupp's jersey from Eastern Washington, or number 10, and put up monster numbers for the Eagles.
See what he had of the first-round wide receivers. Kupp went to the 3rd, and he's been far more productive than all the others. 2nd and 8. Here's Gurley. Puts the leg in the ground, running left, and that time played well. That's the young rookie Shaquille Griffin, who this team really likes.
Do you remember the first half? There's a very similar run where Todd Gurley froze Shaquille Griffin and then got to the outside and beat him on a bad angle. How about the young man doing a little AI, as I call it, artificial intelligence, learning from that mistake and becoming better the next time out. This is almost the exact same play, and this time Shaquille Griffin takes a better angle and makes the play in the open field. Well done.
Third down and 10. Goff has time to get it out of the backfield. Gurley's going to walk in. Todd Gurley has his 4th touchdown today. And it's 40-0. Todd Gurley today. This one set up by the big Cooper punt return. That was easy for 1 yard out. This one a little farther, couple yards back for Gurley. This one was from way farther, 57, right, from Gurley. And then we're going to catch one, too. Wide open, going to walk on in. His first career 4-touchdown game. He's now got 17 total touchdowns to lead the NFL. And that was a curveball from Zerline, who missed it. So not everything has gone right, but mostly everything has gone right for the Rams and their star running back. Todd Gurley getting a little stretched out. Honestly, I wonder if his day's over, Charles. I mean, it's 7 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. I know it's early, but it's 40-0.
I would certainly more than consider that option.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Here's Lockett. Good return as Lockett across the 30, stiff arm. Thrown out of bounds late. That's a 15-yarder. That was a mistake by Nickel Roby-Coleman. You got to be a little careful here. We saw before tempers flared. Delano Hill got thrown out and the Rams were poised.
He's got the play, and then right at the end, that extra. They just flat out didn't need. And they're very fortunate nothing more happened on that sideline.
There were personal fouls by both teams on the play. By the Rams, number 23. By the Seahawks, number 58. The penalty's offset. First down.
Tonight, Christmas comes early. The most beloved Christmas movie of all time becomes the season's biggest television event from the network that brought you Grease Live. It's A Christmas Story Live tonight after the game on Fox. And I know Charles Davis will be locked in.
I'm fired up. What a great cast. Matthew Broderick, Maya Rudolph, Jane Krakowski.
I think the inflatable Frosty should go in the front yard.
By the way, Frosty is up and running.
Thank goodness. Here's McKissick. Makes a move. J.D. McKissick and gets clotheslined down. And no gain, if not a loss of one, as there's Roby Coleman. Again, let me ask you this, Charles. So here's Seattle as we look at the replay, right? 40-0, 6.5 to go. I mean, they're not going to win this game, okay?
Yes.
But they're right now, as it stands right now, they have the same record as the Falcons. So the playoffs are, they're still in reach. How do you build something here? How do you get some momentum to feel good as Wilson back to throw? In trouble, and he's sacked for the 7th time today. Forget that question. It's Barwin this time.
Actually, what you're looking at now is, can your receivers find ways to uncover downfield? That was a long developing route. They wanted something deep downfield. They got a little extra protection, but can anyone shake themselves free? Paul Richardson certainly did, number 10. There's Doug Baldwin. He's free early, but not late in the route. And then Russell Wilson trying to make moves in the backfield to keep a play alive. And Connor Barwin back from the broken forearm, back in style with a sack.
And another 3rd and forever. 3rd and 18 is Wilson back. Gonna let it fly. Looking for Richardson deep, and he's covered like glue. Troy Hill all over it. We've got a game break. Let's check in with Kurt Menefee.
Well, the Steelers and Patriots have gotten interesting. Tom Brady scrambles, find Brandon Cooks for the touchdown, but they missed the extra point. Steven Gostkowski just shanked it. So it's a 1-point game in the 3rd quarter. Kevin and Charles and Pam.
Wow. Interesting one there. Thank you, Kurt.
When they moved the extra point for those who wanted it to be uncertain, they got what they were wishing for, didn't they?
They are for sure.
I mean, we just saw Greg Zerline, who doesn't miss hardly anything, dunk one off of an upright.
Here's Ryan. This is a good kick. Cooper way back over the shoulder. And he's looking to set something up. He gets a block. He gets another. And he's taken down out across the 20. Seattle Seahawks have 56 yards of offense. It's been all Rams here today. 40-0. And their football. So the game's about the Lions, right? Rams' offensive line is dominated because they've run for 185 yards. Defensively, they have 7 sacks. That ties their season high. They missed an extra point. They haven't done much wrong today, Charles.
Seattle's getting 1.6 yards per play.
That's amazing. Malcolm Brown is in there running back, and I wonder if Todd Gurley's day is over.
It should be.
Yeah, I agree. He's 152 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. He's got 28 yards receiving and a touchdown there. 4-touchdown day for the first time in Gurley's career. And now you really do have to watch in terms of backups for the Rams. It looks like everybody else starting-wise is out there right now. Certainly the quarterback off. Lineman. We'll see how Sean McVay does it in terms of resting guys.
Linemen are usually the last to come out. They tend to have a lot of pride in playing all the way through.
In trouble. Down he goes. Tripped up there by Dion Jordan, who missed a few games with a stinger, but in there today, and he gets the sack. Talk about resting guys. One guy who's not in there for Seattle, it's Bobby Wagner. I don't see him out there.
Yeah, he gave it the best. He gave it his best. Yeah. Absolutely.
Pretty impressive, honestly, that he played.
It was impressive that he even made it out there.
And so 3rd and 14 for the Rams. Here's Goff. They're going to hand off to Brown. Huge hole. Brown. He works his way out close to a 1st down. He's going to be a yard shy, though. And so a 4th down coming, and the Rams should punt.
3rd and long has not been a huge issue for the Rams today when they decide to run the football. Look at these linemen getting all the way up into the secondary and climbing on linebackers. Fortunately, Seattle closes. Garvin, Earl Thomas. It looked like Justin Coleman, 28, able to make the stop and bring up a 4th down.
So Hecker will punt it away. Low sinking kick. Lockett's going to let it bounce. So let's look at the early game headlines, right? There's only a couple games going on right now. Here's what we got. Panthers crushed Aaron Rodgers in his return, and they held off a late rally, so they've got 10 wins. The Eagles clinch a first-round bye. Nick Foles had 4 touchdowns today. Eagles were down big in that game, too, when they won. The Vikings, another fantastic performance by Case Keenum, and they win the NFC North. And so what it looks like is this. Eagles still in control for home field advantage overall. Saints with a win. They've got 10 wins, but they have the tiebreaker over Carolina. They beat them twice. The game next week with Atlanta is a monster game. Atlanta plays Monday night against Tampa. Then the Rams, they've got a chance for a first-round bye if things can play right. They need help, though, because Minnesota beat them. So that kind of sums up where we are right now in this playoff chase in the NFC. Doug Baldwin has his first catch of the day. Before that play, Charles, Seattle had 24 passing plays and only 25 passing yards, which is hard to believe. Here's Wilson being pressured again and has to throw it away. So how do you view this NFC right now?
Wide open, truthfully, wide open, because with Nick Foles playing quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, Case Keenum playing for Minnesota, it does not matter how well they play, and Keenum has had a spectacular year.
He has.
The mentality of teams playing against those teams is not the same as if you look across the field and all of a sudden you're dealing with Aaron Rodgers or you're dealing with Drew Brees. They think they can go get those teams. Even if they might not be able to, they believe they can. So anyone who's involved in this thing, and this Rams team has made a statement today that they are someone that you got to deal with.
I would agree. Wilson running in trouble. He's got the first down and more, and sliding at the 45. And it gives the fans something to cheer about in Seattle.
And let's give these fans a ton of credit. It still sounds like we're in the first quarter of this game. Seattle down big, but when their team makes a nice play, you still hear from these 12s. They stay with these guys all the way through.
Decent amount of left, but you're right. They're still into this. Give them credit here. He's trying to see something positive as McKissick has it for a short gain. John Johnson, the safety, is there, and now we get a skirmish in the middle of the field. And so now, second time today, we get tempers flaring.
And we talked about this in the first half, Kevin, that my wish and my hope was that poise would be maintained throughout as this game started to get away. And now we're starting to see how chippy it's going to be, and that's not a surprise to me. I just hope that it really doesn't turn into something big here.
Well, again, end of the game last week. Issues.
So there's Aaron Donald. He's locked up with the rookie, Ethan Posick.
Okay.
And Donald takes exception to that. So there they are, going at it down there. And now other people are getting involved. And Dwayne Brown and Robert Quinn exchanging.
Unsportsmanlike, number 94 of the Rams, pulling players off the pile, which is a 15-yard penalty, and force Seattle's ball first down.
And Dean Blandino can tell us about that rule because they put that into effect because what you were having is piles would happen. Guys are trying to pull people off. People would take exception to that. And now guess what? You end up
with another fight.
You end up with another fight. So they put that rule in to prevent that and make that a penalty as well in hopes that all those extra guys would not end up in the pile.
Right. And you see Sean McVay. I'm sure the last thing he wants his first team to lose. It's cool. They're up 40.
Yeah, what everybody wants now is to finish this thing clean. You know, I know Pete Carroll doesn't want this. Sean McVay doesn't want this. And now Sean's going to talk to his team.
Check this out. How do you not love that from your young head coach, right? Discipline time. Sean McVay getting it done. We'll be right back after these messages from Duracell and Lowe's. So after the timeout, it's a 1st and 10 for Seattle. 40-0 Rams, 2:11 to go in this third quarter.
You saw Sean McVay talking to his defensive unit as we went to break. People think he's just coaching the offense on this team. You're sadly mistaken. He's the head coach of this entire team. Wade Phillips is the defensive coordinator. But Sean McVay, he's the true head coach of this team, not just splitting it as a CEO.
Here's Wilson, back to throw. Here comes Quinn again, and Wilson escapes somehow. Still going, fires incomplete. I don't know how in the world he got out of that one. And it's just an incomplete pass. Well, it's interesting you say that because McVay has been amazing as a leader. Here's the matchup, Charles.
And Dwayne Brown, they acquired him to take care of guys like Robert Quinn. And Robert Quinn has really had an exceptional day against the Pro Bowl left tackle, Dwayne Brown. And truthfully, this might be the best play of the day for Russell Wilson. How he escaped that sack by Robert Quinn, it just tells you how magical Russell Wilson is on most occasions. Today has not been the day for he and the Seahawks, but I still can't believe he got away from that one.
On 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. This time he's got some time, but he rolls out, back pedals, now he's in trouble. Still going. Wilson making it happen. Look at this. Unbelievable. Wilson inside the 30. Boy, he is something else. What a play by Russell Wilson. Scrambling down to the 26 and a first down and a gain of 12. He is special.
Absolutely exceptional. Extending the play, hoping someone will come free downfield. No one does, and finally has to tuck it and go. And once he goes, he finds the open spot and picks up a first down.
And now they're going to go and throw. And step in and go end zone. He's got a touchdown. Luke Wilson, and Seattle's on the board.
Luke Wilson just getting down the middle. Corey Littleton passes him off, thinks that he's got help behind him, but he actually splits the safeties. LaMarcus Joyner 20. John Johnson 43, and Russell Wilson able to throw the ball over the linebacker Littleton into the dead spot before the safeties can get there for the touchdown for Seattle.
And so the Seahawks on the board as Russell Wilson making it happen, trying to inspire his team. Just show some fight here before this one is over. We have a moment. Let's get a game break. Let's say hello to our buddy Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Hello, Kevin. Tom Brady's last 7 games against the Steelers, 22 touchdowns, no interceptions until this. Vince Williams picks him off in the 3rd quarter, and then Le'Veon Bell turns it into a 3-yard touchdown. Biggest lead of the day for the Steelers. They're up by 8 right now, late in the 3rd. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
Great nugget, Kurt. And how about this, Charles? If Pittsburgh holds on, Jacksonville is the number 2 seed as it stands because they won today. Think about that for a second.
And the last time we talked about Jacksonville really in that position, Jack Del Rio was the head coach, right? And before that, Tom Coughlin, who's now back in Jacksonville.
Meanwhile, the Titans, in a game they absolutely have to have, are losing 16-13 to the 49ers. Jacksonville, if Tennessee lost, Jacksonville would have a 2-game lead. Tennessee did beat them the first time, and they played them the last week of the season.
Last week of the season in Nashville. They beat them earlier in the year in Jacksonville, as did these Rams. They went to Jacksonville and beat the Jaguars.
They did. Here's Cooper. Up the middle. Farrell Cooper. He's put together a highlight reel tape here today, and we get a penalty. These Rams play Tennessee next week in the Music City. And so we'll sort out the penalty.
Offside by the kicking team, number 20. Rams have chosen to enforce that penalty from the end of the return. First down.
Oh, I did want to go back and finish up the thought on Sean McVay, though, because you were talking about how he's just more than offense. He's the head coach. And look, he's been brilliant. They've scored 16 more points a game with him running the offense. But I don't think people realize that, yes, Wade Phillips, he's great as his defense. But this is not just an offensive coordinator as a head coach. He has been incredible running the whole thing.
And I think that's how people saw it when he got the job and hired Wade Phillips as defensive coordinator. Good, you run the offense, Wade runs the defense. But he's fully immersed himself in every aspect of this team. And there will be at practice sessions, and you will see Sean McVay coaching up the defense. And Wade Phillips watching that happen.
I know Pam Oliver has more on the Rams' young head coach. Pam?
Well, Kevin, it's interesting. I've seen this a couple of times throughout the day. After a particular drive or possession is successful, players and coaches giving praise to head coach Sean McVay as he's calling the game. They're saying things like, nice job, Sean. Good job, Sean McVay. comes to play calling, but he's done all the right things today back here.
That's a great point, Pam, because last week he took the blame for some of the things they didn't do against Philadelphia, namely running Todd Gurley more.
Oh, he's running today, Charles. This is Brown, though, the backup, and he breaks through for a big gain and another first down.
I saw Malcolm Brown play in college at the University of Texas, highly touted, coming out of high school. Played through some injuries while at the University of Texas, didn't get drafted, fought his way onto the team here, does a nice job on special teams. In fact, scored a touchdown on a block punt against Jacksonville to help them win that game. Been out for a while with a knee injury, made his way back, and he's the backup to Todd Gurley now.
We've reached the end of the third quarter. The Rams have 209 yards rushing. It's been their day, and their lead, 40-7 over their rivals in Seattle. Well, as the song from Candlebox told you, going to the break, these Seahawks are far behind here in Seattle, 40-7 as we start the fourth quarter. It has been dominating, surprising, because this just doesn't happen to this team. But these Rams have earned it. They're playing great, looking for their 10th win and looking to close it out here. As Tavon Austin in the game at running back. Todd Gurley, his day has been done for the last 7 minutes or so. He's had a monster game here. And so you have to think here, right? If the Rams win this game, essentially, barring a miracle, they're going to win the division. And now I'm curious, Charles, where are they in terms of a team that can win the Super Bowl?
Well, Tony Gonzalez, you mentioned it earlier in our broadcast. Tony Gonzalez on our NFL Kickoff show said if the Rams win today, he believes this is a team that can win the Super Bowl. And I said it not too long ago. To me, the NFC is wide open because you have very good teams. But I think every team believes that they can go out and beat those teams. And the way the Rams are playing now with all three phases, the special teams might be the difference. And boy, oh boy, it's going to be hard to beat the Rams in that area.
And Austin is going to get it. Gets away from one Seahawk, but then he's got to swarm more as Wilhoit's going to force him out of bounds. And maybe on that, the best thing is they might be better on the road.
Listen, they've proven it so far because they came into here was a Jared Goff, 5-1 as a starting quarterback. Only loss on the road at Minnesota.
Right.
24-7, but everyone has to remember that was a 7-7 game into the fourth quarter before Minnesota broke it open late. And the Rams had their opportunities. Cooper Kupp fumbling going into the end zone, could have made it 14-7, etc. So this is a team that's confident and has all three areas in really good sync right now. An ability to play well.
Third down and 6 here. Goff looking. Brown comes open. He waits, and it's tipped. Incomplete. Terrence Garvin got a piece to make the play, and Los Angeles will punt.
It's a good play by Garvin because Goff actually had him in a pretty stressful spot. Would he run it or would he throw it? And when he pulled up to throw it, Terrence Garvin ends up making a nice play. Watch number 52 in blue. He comes on the pass rush. Now he sees the running back leak out. Now he goes for the quarterback and gets his hand up and knocks it away. Goff actually did the right thing. He drew him to him, but Garvin ends up getting a paw up and batting the ball out of the air.
Delay a game, so the Rams will move it back 5. A little more room for Johnny Hekker.
Yeah, he actually prefers that. It gives him a little more margin for error.
Penalty is declined.
Smart move by Seattle.
They'll say no to that one.
Yeah, that's why they're doing it. They want to take away that little margin for error with him trying to knock it dead inside the 10.
So there's Lockett back to return. Funny in the pregame warm-ups, Charles, you watch Hekker out there warming up like a quarterback because he loves to throw it. I don't think he's faking it here, but he's got a good arm. They faked it often, and it's been successful. Here, an overhold punt, and Lockett gets tackled immediately by Corey Littleton. Back to Seattle in a moment. Next Sunday, the Falcons battle the Saints in an NFC South showdown. Then it's America's Game of the Week as Ezekiel Elliott is back. Cowboys, big game against the Seahawks. Doubleheader begins at 1 Eastern on Fox. So if you're Seattle, who's got the ball now down 40-7. Russell Wilson's still in there. And we get movement. Charles, I'll tell you, if you're Seattle, you got to hope that the Falcons trip up and lose tomorrow night, because that's really your only chance
Yes,
now.
head-to-head.
Number 65, 5-yard penalty. First down.
You've got the same record as the Falcons, but Atlanta beat Seattle, so essentially they've got a 1-game lead. Yeah, you're right, and they won here. So that's the way they're going to get in the playoffs after losing this one today.
And they have to win themselves.
They got to win.
Take care of business.
No question.
Stretch. And going to Dallas is not easy. And finishing up with Arizona.
Here's Lockett, who makes. That's the thing about Atlanta. Atlanta, the teams that are chasing them, they beat Seattle, they beat Dallas, so they're in a decent spot. And if they win tomorrow, and that game is essentially for the division next week.
Isn't this fun this time of year?
It is.
You go through all the different possibilities. Fun for us, nerve-wracking for everyone involved is trying to make the playoffs.
Here's Wilson. Moves out of it, sack, comes and throws, and Richardson drops it. Is almost intercepted on the play. And Russell Wilson has been running all day long. This Rams defensive line doing the job.
To put it mildly, they have absolutely dominated the offensive line of the Seattle Seahawks because they're creating the pressure early. The ball snapped, and they're creating pressure right now. It's not like he has time, and the secondary is covering so tough that he has to hold the ball. They're getting to him quickly and making it all happen. So give that defensive front of the Los Angeles Rams, Wade Phillips defense, a ton of credit as Russell Wilson tried to navigate it all day.
Yeah, those are big numbers. Third down and 11. Wilson to throw. Far side, and it is caught by Richardson, and that is a first down. So Richardson hauls it in. That'll move the chains for Seattle.
It's a nice catch, too, because this is not easy. It's contested. See how he catches the ball, and Troy Hill does a nice job of coming up and raking at the football, but Richardson does an even better job of possessing it.
This is McKissick, who will get a rare carry. And we have a challenge flag from Sean McVay. I don't know if he got it out of there in time before they ran the play. Whistle's blue, so I'm guessing he did.
Is he challenging the catch?
I think that's what he's doing. That was a third down
Before
play.
the ball was snapped, the Rams challenged the play.
Well, let's
This
look.
last play, therefore, did not occur. Did not happen.
1 foot.
And he does not get the second foot down, and that's what they're challenging.
Yep.
And there's no such thing as a force out, right? There's no such thing as a tackle, and you know you get that extra little bit like you used to. There's 1 foot down,
Rams
that's
are
good.
challenging the ruling on the field.
Where's the
pass
second
was
one?
complete.
Left foot never got there.
Okay, here's the left
And
foot in
his
the air.
hand, look, his hand's out of bounds there.
Hands out of bounds there. You see it on the white. Here comes the second foot. See the shoulder hits out before the foot can come down, and that's what they're challenging.
So, you know, it's 40-7, and I feel like even though I think we have this one right, we should bring in Dean Blandino anyway. Dean, you know, we're just going to make you work here. So just go through it and make sure tell us if we're right here.
Yeah, I was waiting for something in this game, 40-7, so I'm glad Coach challenged this. Remember, it's both feet or another body part other than a hand. The right foot is down inbounds. The hand actually lands out of bounds, and he never gets another body part down before that. It's an incomplete pass. This call should be overturned, and the Rams are going to win this challenge.
All right, Dean Blandino, we appreciate that. So McVay just, stick a little needle in there, Charles. And remember, that's a third down play, so it will be a punting situation.
You know, this time of year, Dean needs those extra hits for his bonus.
Is that it? He get by reps?
Yeah, he gets extra on the bonus.
For the bonus pay? Well, let's bring Dean back in.
Dean's called in for a hit every 3 plays. He's ready to go. have a feel
Pass was incomplete. The runner did not get both feet down in bounds.
Dean, how many?
The Rams have therefore won both of their challenges, and by rule, they now have an additional challenge available later in the game. There are no timeouts charged. Please reset the clock to 12:50. 12:50 at the time.
Well, Dean, I was trying to get to you, but Ed wouldn't stop talking.
Roll it.
How many appearances do you need for your bonus, Dean?
I think I need 3. I think I need 3 appearances.
So we're there.
And we are definitely digging deep here. I get my own full shot here. This is great. Pereira's freaking out over here to my right. This is amazing.
Just so you know, Dean, we just got a note a minute ago that since you're so close to the bonus, we're not supposed to use you anymore.
All right, there you go.
But we did it anyway.
Dean, we appreciate it. So the challenge won, the explanation given, the punt coming from John Ryan. And here's Pharaoh Cooper, who's had an unbelievable day. Going to return another one. Makes a man miss, and Seattle covers this one well. And Cooper is out of bounds at the 40 with 12:39 to play from Seattle in the land of Shuckers. 40-7. Whole season next Wednesday, Foster Farms Bowl. Arizona takes on Purdue on Fox, and then next Thursday, the Holiday Bowl. Washington State against Michigan State on FS1 college football. It's that time of year. Todd Gurley, Jared Goff, they are relaxing. Numbers today from Goff, just fine. He did his part, but the running game was great. The defense, the special teams, it's been everything. And then Gurley, you see a career high, 4-touchdown game from him, a league-leading 17 scores on the year.
And that's his 11th game over 100 yards from scrimmage, which leads the NFL.
Not bad. Sean Mannion is the new quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams, and they'll give it to Tavon Austin running to the right and not getting anything on that first down play. So Mannion will get a shot. He's only thrown one pass all year, Charles.
But he is 1 for 1.
That is true. So that's what he's done in his 2-year career. He's obviously been a backup.
Very productive at Oregon State. I mean, he threw for over 30. He threw for almost 14,000 yards in his career there. 83 touchdowns.
That's a lot of yards.
A lot of yards.
That's incredible. So Mannion in there. Wonder if they'll even bother throwing it, though. Just be happy to run out the clock. Tavon Austin, the running back. What pitch it to him? Austin. It's a nice move, diving across the 45, stayed in bounds, runs the clock. We go to Kurt Menefee. Kurt.
Well, once down 16-3 at San Francisco, Tennessee has come roaring back. Rashard Matthews, little score from Marcus Mariota, 8 yards on that one, 17 unanswered for the Titans. They've got their first lead of the day. Kevin, Charles, and Pam.
Hey, thanks, Kurt. And Marcus Mariota learning how to play quarterback in total. He's been hurt. He had hamstring, knee, so he doesn't have that same mobility. And we see Les Snead there, the general manager, up there, the open collar shirt, enjoying what he's seeing from his Rams team. And Kevin Demoff, right down below him, the president of the Los Angeles Rams.
Oh, fumble, and Austin dives on it, gets it back, and the play is dead. Well, look, they have what they've done best among anything, right? Besides hiring the head coach, as here's the play, is adding around Goff this year.
Yes.
Haven't they done a fabulous job?
Fabulous job. And just think about what a difference a year makes. All right. So you see Snead to the top. There's Les Snead right there. This is Kevin Demoff here. All right. 1 year ago, about this time, they were here in Seattle having just fired Jeff Fisher.
Yes.
John Fossil was named the interim head coach for the rest of the year, and they looked like they were in disarray. What was going to happen? They've hired Sean McVay. They got Todd Gurley going. They signed Andrew Whitworth at left tackle, which helped solidify an offensive line. John Sullivan at center. You see all the moves that were made.
Robert Woods
at wide receiver.
Trade for Sammy Watkins.
Just what you
But
said.
this has been the biggest.
Getting Sean McVay. Remember what Les Snead told us in our meeting? When you interviewed him, you just didn't want to let him out of the room without getting his name on a contract.
Welcome back to CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. 40-7 Rams, and they will take a 2-game lead in the division. And as bad as this has looked for Seattle, Charles, the reality is, you know, their chances to make the playoffs certainly take a hit, but they still have a shot here.
Still got a shot. Remember, they will be tied with Atlanta, right, when this one's over, correct?
If Atlanta loses tomorrow.
If Atlanta loses tomorrow, excuse me. Atlanta goes to Tampa Bay. So if somehow that happens and they're tied, Atlanta has a tiebreaker, but you still got 2 games left in the season. So they play that out at Dallas, at home against Arizona. If they find a way to pick themselves up, which Seattle has done many times before, and win those last couple, let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, I mean,
they keep the pressure on Atlanta to win down the stretch. And Atlanta has divisional games. They've got to go to New Orleans and then finish it up.
And now there's a late flag, and I wonder if they're going to call safety here.
Offense
They will.
3. There was no receiver in the area. Foul occurred in the end zone for a safety.
Wow.
If that doesn't fit exactly what's going on today for Seattle, I don't know what does.
You know, I didn't initially think that was grounding. Well, let's watch and see if it was.
Because they usually give the benefit of the doubt. And see, to me, that's a receiver running a route and a quarterback thinking it's a different route. And you see him there, and he's thinking the receiver is going to break to the sideline.
That's not grounding. I'm sorry.
And the receiver breaks to the middle, and that leaves it wide open, thus no receiver in the area. So by letter of the law, they've got him because they can't think of along with Russell Wilson like we can. We know what he's trying to do, but they can't do that. They have to administer it that way. Thus the grounding penalty occurs. But that just kind of fits the day for Seattle.
I guess it does. I mean, I get it. That is, you're right, by letter of the law. But, I mean, common sense, that's not grounding. He wasn't being pressured in his face.
And normally they give them a heavy benefit of the doubt on plays like that. But I think they felt like it was so open, like there was no one there. Because the receiver had broken off to the post instead of breaking to the sideline.
You have to be under some duress, right? Was he under duress? I don't.
You don't have to be. Not at all. You just have to make that throw. And he was in the end zone, and there's your call.
I guess as long as somebody's in the area, that's the deal. I don't know. It is what it is at this point. 42-7 now is the score.
And now we have a free kick. And we're getting a little bit of everything in this game.
We are.
And for the Rams, who are thinking playoffs now, you're adding to all the different things that you may have to face going down the line. You get to practice it.
Here's Cooper. Pharaoh Cooper, big hole again. Pharaoh Cooper gets to the edge and then out to midfield. Man, Pharaoh Cooper has been spectacular. But Charles, as the Rams will take the field, I do want to finish on Seattle. So, okay, they need help, right?
Yep.
The Falcons have a tough schedule, but the Falcons could also win that division. They control their own destiny. But how about picking yourself off the mat here after a crushing loss in this type of game? They've done it a lot.
They've done it before. Maybe not to this extent in terms of this type of a loss, but they've been in so many tough situations before. So I always lean towards Seattle figuring it out.
Because they have.
Because they have before. Track record tells you that. The key is all these injuries. How much has it sapped this team? You know, they should get KJ Wright back next week, their linebacker. Will Bobby Wagner, with another week, get better with his hamstring? He's been playing with it for over a month now.
Yep.
Okay, you're not getting back Richard Sherman or Cam Chancellor, so you can let that part go. But they've got to get so much better on the offensive line in a short amount of time because everyone's seeing this tape now. You think right now DeMarcus Lawrence, when he watches this tape at defensive end, is not going to be excited to try and rush the passer? That's where they've got to get things figured out.
It'll be a 2nd and 2. Austin remains the primary running back. And they'll get it to him, and a little dance, and fighting forward will be a little bit shy of a first down. So we talked about the offensive improvement for the Rams, right? I mean, just look at this. Last year, 14 points a game. It was the worst in the NFL. It's amazing to think that you jump all the way up to 30.5 this year with the new coaching staff and everything else that's gone into it. It's the largest scoring increase from the previous year in NFL history. There's only 2 other teams ahead of them. Check it out. 16.5 points more per game this year. The Cleveland Bulldogs in 1924.
This franchise don't even exist.
It's
right. The Bulldogs, the New York Yanks.
It's unbelievable. 3rd down and 1. And that is a first down for Los Angeles. But just, you know, on Seattle finishing up, right? No one questions this team's mettle. No one questions this team's coaching staff. The magic of that guy, number 3. And everybody has a bad week, okay? So this looks bad because of the magnitude of the game. But at some point, with injuries and personnel, you just wonder if at some point it runs out.
Don't forget, this is a team that's gone 5 straight years to the playoffs.
Right.
How many, what was it, 7 of 8? Is that the correct number? Whatever that number is, it's a long run, which means what? Extra games every year for your core players. So if you think about it in the NBA, if you think about it in baseball, right? The extra wear and tear, that accumulation of extra time, that sometimes wears on a team as well. And Seattle has as much extra time as darn near anyone in the league.
Yeah. So I thought that Austin had the first down there, but they mark him short as they measure it. So he is, I don't know, a few inches short. So 4th and inches coming up here.
Go for it here.
I'm sure McVay will.
And I think they'll run the ball here.
Unlike the last 4th and inches.
That one, you know, I think he really thought he had something on that would fool them. I thought quarterback sneaker Gurley, but Look, they ended up getting the ball right back and scoring anyway, so it really didn't hurt them at all.
You've got to give a lot of credit, Charles, to these Seattle fans. It's one of the greatest places to come to broadcast a game. And most have stayed most of this time to just recently. The ones that are here are still into it. Kudos. 4th and inches. A sneak by Mannion, and he's got it. Well, Andrew Whitworth is out of the game now. They took him out the rest. But, boy, you give him credit, right? Tuesday, he bought 550 bikes and helmets for each kid at Grape Street Elementary. That's in Watts, California. It's also his 36th birthday. What a way to spend it, making all those kids feel great around the holidays. That is awesome.
He did say that when it was time to pick a team as a free agent, he and his wife wanted to go to a place where they could help make a difference and help build a franchise. And they picked the Los Angeles Rams, and you see he's doing it in both places.
Am I out of bounds?
And off.
Am I out of bounds by saying it's been as impactful a free agent signing as anybody in the league?
You're not out of bounds, because look at what it's done with this team. Last year, we just showed it. They scored 14 points a game. And what was one of the biggest criticisms of this team? Offensive line play, not getting it done. Getting Whitworth, getting Saffold into a better position at guard. I think the John Sullivan signing at center has been awfully impactful as well to help take care of things, because he takes care of a young quarterback and takes line calls off of his plate.
He does. That was Sullivan, so he and Whitworth out of the game. Here's Austin looking to dance and move and stutter step his way out to the 34-yard line. Well, if you're in Eastern or Central time zone joining us to see A Christmas Story live, don't worry, you won't miss a moment, promise. We're going to start from the beginning once our game is over. For those of you on the West Coast, you'll see it at 7 p.m. Pacific time as scheduled. Look forward to that. It has felt like Christmas for Aaron Donald. He was the man today.
Did a game a few years ago. Yeah, that kind of sums up Christmas right now in Seattle, doesn't it?
Sure does.
I did a game a few years ago. Aaron Donald watched game tape on Christmas Day at the Rams facility trying to get ready for his next game.
Oh my. 3rd down. And the handoff to Brown is going to be shy of a 4th. So the Rams taking a step closer to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Last appearance in the playoffs as the LA Rams. Well, that was back in '89. That's a long time ago. Last appearance franchise history was 04. That year they were 8-8. It's been a while, okay? And check this out. So where were they in 04? Jared Goff was 10. Sean McVay was 18. He was the quarterback in Miami of Ohio.
And you know what number Jared Goff was wearing in that youth league? Number 16. The one he's wearing now. Why? Joe Montana wore that jersey. Northern California kid growing up.
Sean Mannion going to call a timeout here. The play clock winding down with 5:45 to go in this game. So we welcome you back. Thanks for staying with us today. Charles Davis. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. So we talked a lot about these two teams, about the NFC. The AFC to me is fascinating too, because with New England losing, that game is not over yet, right?
Not over.
No. But Jacksonville is all of a sudden the 2 seed right now.
And not only the number 2 seed, it's how they play. Because what are they calling them? Saxonville?
Yes.
Because of their defensive front and getting to the quarterback. When you start to put a defense together and a back end with a young corner named Jalen Ramsey playing awfully well. And by the way, Blake Bortles, their quarterback, who's absorbed a lot of criticism, and rightfully so for a lot of his play, he's stacking together some really good games down the stretch. They're going to be tough to handle, too.
Remember in the preseason where they pulled Bortles and Henne was their guy?
Yes.
You're right. I mean, he has been good today. 21 of 29, 326 yards, 3 scores. He carved up Seattle last week. He's been very good.
And Leonard Fournette did not play today for...
Now, 4th down, Rams go. Carrier makes the catch, and now the spot. I think we might have to measure this one. Let's see. He's very close. He's like right on it. Oh, maybe a hair shy. Look at that.
He's right on our unofficial 1st down line.
Well, everything else has gone the Rams' way, right, Charles? So
you would expect this one to be a 1st down as well, as he bobbles it. Quadruple catches it before he hauls it in, does Derek Carrier.
And Pete Carroll's going to challenge this one.
And so is Pete Carroll. You noted that. Sean McVay playing full 60. So is Pete.
Well, why they challenge, good time to tell you that today's game is being produced by Pete Macheska, who had 75 bowls of chowder while he was here in Seattle. It's directed by the great Artie Kempner, who made the rounds today out on the field. Always good to see Artie out there. No thrown passes, though. Associate director is Eric Mandia. Broadcast associates Peter Greasy, Casey Garland. Our technical producer is Clyde Taylor. Audio provided by Jeff Cohen. Stats, Jeff Nelson. Spotter, Mitch Smith. Mike Tatamir, one of our amazing camera crew. Keith DeSantis, they like that it didn't rain today. Those guys work hard. Oh, yeah, no rain, Keith. You're okay here in Seattle.
Not even gloves.
It's all right. There's Steely Dan Steele, but we call him Steely. And then it's our guy who takes care of us in the booth. We call him Dobby. That's Grant Dobbins. His camera's on right now. Hey, Dobby.
Dobby.
Oh, there you go. And our technical director today, Derek Joyo. So our entire NFL on Fox crew. There's Danny Cochran. You know, Michael Abdel had a great time at the Mall yesterday. Nick Franklin, Bobby Reed. That's us.
Hey, look, and you notice it's not just us. A lot of people here providing support, help us out. Max,
the great Max Bulin up here.
Thank you.
Max is.
Did you see Max take a bow there?
He's an LA guy.
See that?
He knows how to bow and acknowledge.
Max, like my people, my public.
This is, Charles, it's just so strange. We've done so many games here.
It's not normal.
It's just not. It's so unused to seeing this.
Yeah.
And I will say this, because we have, and our crew has been fortunate to do a lot of Seahawks games the last few years, right? I have to thank the Seahawks PR team.
Yes.
Dave Pearson, Lane Gallo, Richie Gonzalez, the whole crew. They are as good as anybody in this league. And we appreciate that.
We certainly do. And how about a tip of the cap to the Rams PR crew led by Artis Twyman. They're finally able to have meaningful football in December as a PR crew. A few extra requests, more things to do.
There you go.
And they've weathered the storm, and they're in that possibility now as well.
The ugly Christmas sweaters. It's been ugly today for Seattle. Rams really from the get-go. And it's interesting, right? Because this game started out, a couple field goals. Like, oh boy, big hole for Seattle D, but it just never stopped. And Wilson's been pressured all day, but he's still in there fighting. And he's throwing it near side, and that's out of bounds. So Peterson got his hands on it.
I think a lot of people might ask the question, Kevin, why is Russell Wilson still out there?
Because he wants to.
Because Russell Wilson won't let you take him out.
We know him well enough, right?
He wants to fight with his team all the way through. His backup is Austin Davis, number 6, a former player with the St. Louis Rams when they were there. Now, obviously, the Rams franchise. And now he's the backup here in Seattle. But Russell Wilson wants to fight with his team all the way through.
That's McKissick, who's got a first down. Of all the things that have happened today, you just think about this complete Rams effort. Defensive line dominating. Punt returns and the punt team. Farrell Cooper setting things up. Offensively, the run game with Gurley. Going deep, overthrown. He was looking for Graham that time. If you just turned us on again, Todd Gurley. There are a lot of stories today, but he's a major one. 21 carries, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns rushing. He also has a receiving touchdown today. You see that nose on Russell Wilson. One rare positive. First player ever with 30-plus passing touchdowns and 500-plus rushing yards in multiple seasons. Other guys have done it once, never twice. Russell Wilson in that category. McKissick gets it on second down. He's up to the 45.
You were mentioning the Rams and their special teams. I think one of the areas that gets overlooked a little bit is their coverage units. Because, remember, we talked all day long about how the Rams had great field position to start things off. The poor position for Seattle is often caused by great coverage on kickoffs and punts. And that's one of the areas that doesn't get much credit, but it'd be huge come playoff time.
And Wilson is high and incomplete, so a 4th down and 5 is coming up. And it looks like they're going to stay out and go, I think. Yep. So they would try it one more time. Aaron Donald, he is just relaxing. He was a force today, and now it looks like Seattle will punt. And they get some boos from the crowd for that decision.
This is not as much a give up as an admission that it just hadn't been their day.
Yeah.
You know, what are we pushing here?
These things happen.
And that's one extra play that Russell Wilson's not out there. So Pete Carroll's thinking about his quarterback. If we still want to make that playoff push starting in Dallas next week, I'm not going to subject him to another. He may not want to come out of a game, but that doesn't mean I have to give him an extra play.
That, I think, is going to be the most interesting thing this week, is that Seattle is still in this race, and can they pick themselves off the mat again as they've done before? But this just feels a little different today.
You just see, you know, again, the extra time in the playoffs. New England has to battle that too, you know. Teams that perennially get there and make runs, it's tough.
Fair catch called for. And Cooper has it, and the Rams will have it with 4:08 to go. Well, you can't be much more opposite in age than that, can you? McVay 31, Phillips is 70, but they are working together like peanut butter and jelly this year. Playoff picture in the NFC. A very big game tonight with the Cowboys. They take on the Raiders. And if Dallas can win and go to 8 wins and get Ezekiel Elliott back next week, they got a shot. Again, Atlanta is really in the prime position here. They play Tampa Bay tomorrow night, but they beat Seattle, they beat Detroit, and they beat Dallas. So essentially, they have a game lead right now.
Yes.
So they are in the driver's seat. And the crazy thing is, as much as the Saints have kind of dominated the year, Atlanta's the one that controls their own destiny here. Here's Austin dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. Bradley McDougal. Rams a little bit of celebrating. They deserve it today.
But don't think for a second Dallas has an easy one tonight, because don't forget Oakland after what happened last night in the AFC West. Kansas City took out the Los Angeles Chargers and took a lead in that division. But if Oakland wins tonight, they're tied with the Chargers, 1 game back from Kansas City with 2 left. So this is a huge game for them as well.
Hey, so Aaron Donald 3 sacks today. Remember the last time we showed you, Kurt Menefee was telling us how the Steelers intercepted Tom Brady. They were up 8. New England just took the lead, 27-24 with a minute left. And I mean, it's unbelievable.
And you're absolutely not shocked by that.
No.
That number 12 from New England has a chance to affect the game that way.
And by the way, the 49ers have taken the lead over the Titans, 22-20 with 3 minutes to go in that game.
But your old broadcast partner, John Lynch, GM of that team, their mission, as they've won 2 games in a row, was to finally beat a team with a winning record, a good team. Here's their opportunity with Tennessee.
I think if the Niners win that game, I may be wrong, I believe Jimmy Garoppolo will be the first quarterback to ever start 5-0 in his career. I may be off. Because he won 2 in New England, this would be 3 in a row. Way to go in that one. Kurt will tell us how New England took the lead in a moment, because I have no idea. Penalty. In fact, why don't we find out now? Kurt, please help us out. How did this happen here?
Well, they were down 5 with 2 minutes and 6 seconds left and went on a 5-play, 77-yard drive in 1 minute 10 seconds. Deion Lewis with the 8-yard run, and then they add the 2-point conversion. Brady to Gronkowski, who, by the way, has 168 yards receiving, and with less than a minute left, the Patriots have taken the lead at Pittsburgh, 27-24. Wow.
So they go on a big drive, go for the lead, get a 2-point conversion, which they got, 2 of those in the Super Bowl to beat Atlanta. Gronk flanks out like a flanker and makes another play.
Wow. You know, just from a Brown gets a carry, just from a mental standpoint, if New England wins that again, and they meet in the playoffs, my goodness, but there's time left, and Pittsburgh has the ball and driving. We will keep you updated on that one. There are 34 seconds left. Pittsburgh on the move.
Don't forget, that's Ben Roethlisberger bringing his team downfield. Sounds like they are definitely on the march, so they've got a big finish headed their way in Pittsburgh.
Rams fans here trying to enjoy this. Remember, they had lost 11 of the last 12 here in Seattle against these great Seahawks. But today, it's been the Rams' day from start to finish with that man, Sean McVay, leading the way. Seattle, a rare bad one. That is an outstanding hat. Very holiday feel. And it's felt Christmassy for the Rams because they have been giving it to Seattle all day. 42-7 with 2 minutes to go. They will punt it away. The Steelers, we're just told, went down and scored. Their touchdown is under review right now. Here is a return. It's Lockett making a man miss into Rams territory at the 45. And Charles, in a game of many notes, here's another one. Johnny Hecker coming in, laying the wood, right? The punter. That's about right how today has gone. Let's watch.
Watch Johnny. Again, get low. Throw some shoulder in there. He was a recruited quarterback out of high school from the state of Washington. Got some offers from some 1AA schools before choosing to punt at Oregon State. Just a javelin thrower, high jumper. Played some hoops. Good athlete.
By the way, I was saying the Steelers, so they scored a touchdown. It's under review. If it holds, they would now take the lead over New England with 30 seconds left. Here the Seahawks will have the ball under 2 minutes to go. They're going to run it to McKissick.
With 30 seconds for Brady. And look, they finally made a change.
Austin Davis coming on the field against his former team. Kurt Menefee is standing by. He's like the relief pitcher ready to go. And we'll get to him after this play. He'll run it. McKissick gets belted. And he's knocked back by Marquis Christian. Kurt Menefee, what do you got for us, my man?
Well, remember that touchdown the Patriots scored? Forget about it for a little while. Here, Ben Roethlisberger hooks up with Juju Smith-Schuster. He takes it 69 yards. They had a touchdown, it looked like, to Jesse James, but it was overturned, called back. So the Steelers have the ball, second and goal right now, 28 seconds left, trying to get the win. This is the touchdown that was called back. We'll get it back to you as soon as this one goes final, one way or the other.
Kurt, thanks. You know, if you wanted to keep it and just continue with the play-by-play to get us updated, that would be cool too.
But what a performance right there by number 16, Jared Goff, and his Los Angeles Rams, Kevin. This has just been something from the word go. And this team now, you know, you go into a season hoping you can finally make the playoffs after their long drought, hoping you can have an effect on the division. Their sights now get to be set higher. They're not in the playoffs yet, but it's likely. They've got to start there. I know they're thinking that way. And here's their opportunity.
Listen, that was impressive. That's the bottom line. An impressive win for the Rams. 42-7 over the Seahawks to take control in the NFC West here today. More to do from Seattle. We'll be back here in a moment to wrap it up. The big day for Los Angeles.